Every inch, is that clear?
Yes, sir!
Keep those heads down and pick up everything that doesn't grow. Move it! Move it!
Shazam! Look what I found.
What you got,
Look
Joe?
this.
What is it? What is it? What'd you find?
4-leaf clover.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Ain't I, though? I wonder what kind of luck it'll bring me.
I wonder. All right, you people, get back to work. Move it! Move it!
Back home, Barbara Sue Hooverback found one under her front porch, and 2 weeks later she married Wendell Conroy, and to this day she still wears that clover in a locket around her neck on a chain.
Pyle.
She's so proud of it. She wears these real low-cut dresses so everybody can see it.
Pyle.
Of course, she can't see the clover unless she opens up her locket. Shoot, she'll open up that locket at the drop of a hat.
Pyle, knock it off!
Yes.
All right, you people, fall in. All right, come on, move it, move it, move it, move it. The smoking lamp is lit for one cigarette.
The smoking lamp is lit for one cigarette! Aye, aye, sir!
Light up.
Sir,
What do you want?
I don't smoke, so it'd be all right if I kept looking for some 4-leaf clovers.
Get.
Thank you, sir. I might even find one for you.
Wonderful.
Of course, you don't have a locket you can keep it in like Barbara Sue Hooverback, but there's other places you can keep it, like in the sweatband of your hat or in your...
Pyle,
Sir?
get lost.
Yes, sir.
Afternoon, Captain.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. Could I talk to you for a moment?
Something wrong, Captain?
Not unless you call making a Marine base look like a street corner.
I authorized a break for these people, Captain.
A break does not mean ogling women Marines. Sergeant, inform your men that this is an administration building and not the corner drugstore.
Aye, Captain.
Carry on.
What's the matter with you knuckleheads? Don't you know a captain when you see one?
Sorry, sir, we didn't see her.
You didn't see her? You didn't see a captain? All right, you just stand at attention, and you'll watch for captains.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Private,
Yes, ma'am.
what was that you just did?
Ma'am?
Just now when I approached, what did you do?
I guess I tipped my hat. That's right, I tipped my hat, Swat, ma'am.
You did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do these bars show you that I'm a captain?
Yes, ma'am. But the rest of the uniform shows me that you're a lady. And I always tip my hat to a lady.
One of your people, Sergeant?
Yes, he is, Captain.
It is customary for recruits to learn to salute their very first day in the service.
Yes, ma'am. Didn't he salute the captain?
He did not. He tipped his hat.
Tipped his hat.
On account of she's a lady, and I always tip my hat to a lady.
Private, do you know your general orders?
Yes, ma'am, I sure do.
What is your 10th general order?
Let's see now. To take charge of this post and all government property.
That is your first one.
Yes, ma'am, I know it is. But I learned them in order, and so I have to go all the way through them to get the 10th. To walk my post in a military manner.
Did this man learn military courtesy, or did he not?
He certainly did, Captain. I can't...
Then why is he not showing it?
Well, I just don't...
That is a poor reflection of his training, Sergeant, if I may say.
I've got
Well,
it.
he's-
Here it is. To salute all officers and all colors and standards not cased. That's your 10th general order right there.
That is correct. And the way you do that is you raise your right hand directly and smartly. Thumb and fingers are straight and touching each other. Your upper arm is level with the deck and your forearm at a 45-degree angle. You hold that salute until it is returned, then cut away your hand smartly back to your side. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. But wouldn't it be a whole lot easier if I just tipped my hat and said, good afternoon, ma'am?
Hey, excuse me, if the captain will let me take over now...
No,
I'll take...
Sergeant. I have a much better plan. You have this private report to me every evening this week in my office after duty hours. I think I can teach him the business of saluting so that he never forgets it. That's an order. Carry on.
Just think, Sergeant, she's gonna take a whole week just to teach me proper saluting. Ain't that nice of her?
Gomer, why are you wasting your time sprucing up? You'll be torn to shreds as soon as you get to her office.
Oh, quit joshing, Duke. She's a real nice lady, that lady captain.
Gomer, that's no lady. Do you know what they call her? Captain Iron Pants. Yeah, Captain Iron Pants.
Duke, you ought not call her that. It ain't respectful.
Well, that's what they call her all over.
Hey, Sergeant, sir. Getting ready to go to my saluting lesson.
Well, you fixed it up for yourself real good, boy. Pulling down night school duty. Now, you listen up and listen good. That woman is a captain. You say yes, Captain Martin, no, Captain Martin. Understand?
Yes, sir. Captain Martin. I don't care what nobody else calls her.
Huh?
Do you know what they call her on this base? And they ain't respectful neither.
Corporal Peters,
Yes, Captain?
do you type with a compact?
No, ma'am. But I'm meeting Sergeant Marshall after work, and it's just a few minutes before 17:30.
Those few minutes belong to this office. So if you wish to indulge in camouflage operations, don't do it here. Let me tell you something, Corporal. Those little feminine vanities do nothing to further a career in the service. In fact, I've found them a hindrance. Oh, excuse me, sir.
That's all right. You have those requisitions, Captain?
Yes, sir, right here.
I saw that business with Corporal Peters. Don't you think you're being a little rough on her?
No, sir, I don't. After all, we haven't secured for the night yet. And we are Marines working on a Marine base.
Well, you are also women. I don't think it's so bad if Corporal Peters puts on a little makeup. She's just trying to win a different battle than you are.
Have a nice evening.
Oh, thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. Private Gomer Pyle. You requested that I come here for some extra duty, so here I am.
Oh, yes, the hat tipper. Over here, Private. These cards list all the officers on the base. I want you to file them alphabetically in the lower drawer.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that you'll get in practice, whenever you come to a card with a woman officer on it, I want you to stand up and salute.
You mean salute the card?
That's right. Oh, is that funny, Private? Does that strike you as funny?
No, ma'am.
All right, sit down and get to work.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I was always taught not to sit while a lady's standing. My mama taught me that.
I am a captain in the United States Marine Corps, and that is all I am to you.
Well, that's a lot, ma'am. That's a whole lot.
You bet it is. Now, get busy. When you finish with that, I have other duties for you. Sit down.
Yes, ma'am. Lieutenant James Parker. Captain Larry Brown. Oh, here's one. Captain Martha Bentley. Is that what you mean, ma'am?
What do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm holding a chair out for you, ma'am. That's another thing my mama taught me.
Private, listen. There are a lot of things you've learned in civilian life that do not always apply here. Now, common courtesies are fine, but chair pushing and hat tipping and other civilian niceties are unnecessary. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you trying to help me, Captain. But I hope you won't be too upset if it don't take right away. After all, my mama had over 20 years to drum all that into me.
Then we may just be here that long.
Good evening, ma'am.
Private, you're late.
I'm sure sorry about that. I was almost here when I remembered the sweets, and I had to run all the way back to the barracks to get them.
Sweets? Recruits aren't allowed candy. Where did you get it?
Oh, it ain't for me. It's for you, Captain. It's just an old chocolate bar. My cousin Gomer sent it to me in the mail. He didn't know we ain't supposed to have them. Thought you might like it.
Private Pyle, are you trying to bribe me with a candy bar?
Gosh, no, ma'am. It's just a tiny present's all. Ladies should get presents. Please take it.
Private, I've got a lot of work to do, and so do you. Suppose we get started.
Yes, ma'am. Captain, if you want to holler at me for being late, you just do that. Otherwise, the candy might really look like a bribe.
What?
What I'm trying to say is, it ain't really a bribe, and if you'll go ahead and holler, then I'll know you think of it as a present.
Never mind.
Just go ahead and holler, and that'll prove you don't think of it as a bribe.
That won't be necessary.
But, Captain, if you just...
Pyle, get busy cleaning this office now. Move it, move it, move it. Go on, move it.
Yes, ma'am.
Private, what are you doing?
Sharpening these pencils like you asked, ma'am.
This may be a silly question, but why don't you use the pencil sharpener? What do you think that is? Now resharpen those, and on the double.
Ma'am?
What is it?
This here thing's a pencil sharpener. It ain't got no handle.
It's electric. You put the pencils in and they sharpen themselves.
You're pulling my leg, ma'am.
There.
Lord, what'll they think of next? Electric. Ain't that something?
Pyle, stop playing with that pencil sharpener.
Yes, ma'am. There you are, ma'am. There's the first one. That sure was fun. Too short?
Not for a golf tee, but it is too short for me.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I can see that now. A lady shouldn't use a stubby pencil. You might break your fingernails and ruin all that nice banana-smelling polish.
I don't have long fingernails, and I don't wear that nice banana-smelling polish.
That's right. You sure enough don't, ma'am. Could have swore you did. Maybe you ought to.
What?
Well, ma'am, you have such nice hands. Long fingernails and that red goo could make them even look that much nicer. Well, I'll go sharpen you some more pencils now. Sergeant, sir. I didn't see you.
Pyle, the rest of the people are on arrest period. What are you doing?
Just a little private policing, sir.
What's the matter? Don't you have enough to do between Captain Martin and myself?
Oh, yes, sir, but this is different. You see, I'm just looking for tinfoil.
Tinfoil?
Yes, sir. It's a surprise for Captain Martin.
You gonna surprise Captain Martin with a ball of tinfoil?
Oh, no, sir. The tinfoil is just for the decoration. The real surprise is underneath that.
Carry on.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Is that a new way to stand at attention?
No, ma'am. It's just that I know how ladies like to be surprised.
What?
I found them growing wild back yonder at the back gate. They're for you. Take them.
Oh, that's very nice, Private. But I'm afraid I don't have anything to keep them in, so I can't accept them.
How's this?
What's that?
Homemade vase. Pretty, ain't they?
Yes, they are.
This here vase It's just an old milk bottle I found back of the mess hall. I covered it in tinfoil on account I didn't think a vase ought to say low fat on it.
Thank you, Private.
You're welcome, ma'am. I think a lady should have pretty things on her desk.
All right, Private. May as well secure for the night. Check that window, will you?
Yes, ma'am. Shazam! Would you look at that moon? Boy, it'd sure be a great night for gas watching back home.
Private, finish up and you can shove off.
Yes, ma'am.
Gas watching?
Yes, ma'am. Back home, I used to work at this filling station. Whenever there'd be a shiny moon and I'd be working nights, I used to spill out a little gas on the concrete and watch the reflection that the moon made on it. All them shiny colors and runny lines.
I see.
Sometimes this girl I knew named Ida Carrington, she'd come over and sit with me, and we'd eat a bag of pine nuts together. We'd just sit there and look at all them runny lines and listen to old Lester Pruitt's hound dog baying away at the moon. Way off yonder, you could hear the whistle off the Nashville train passing through. Woo woo! And that's the only sound there'd be, except every once in a while Ida Carrington cracking open a pine nut with her teeth. I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to run off like that. I'm sure a lady like you's got a lot better memories of moonlit nights and chomping away at pine nuts and looking at guys. Well, I guess I'll shove off if the captain don't need nothing else.
No, that'll be all.
Well, see you tomorrow night, ma'am. Good night, Captain.
Off to your night of date with Captain Iron Pants?
I wish you'd stop calling her that.
Why?
Well, it ain't respectful, and she's a lady.
A lady? Oh, Gomer, look alive.
Well, she is, and she's a real nice lady, too.
You know what I bet, Gomer? I bet she's got a tattoo on her arm.
You know what, Duke? You ain't a gentleman is what?
Huh?
Talking that way about a lady. It's just crude talk.
Oh, come on.
It's true. It ain't nothing but crude talk.
Gomer, it's just too bad you're only a boot and she's a captain. Otherwise, you could take her out. You picture that, fellas? Gomer out dancing with Captain Iron Pants? She'd probably want to lead.
It's crude talk. It ain't nothing but crude talk. You're crude, Duke. You're awful crude. Good evening, Captain. I didn't hear you come in.
This is an office, Private, not a dance hall.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that. It's just that whenever I hear any kind of music, my feet just naturally start moving. Before I know it, all of me's moving. Do you dance, ma'am?
I beg your pardon?
I said, do you dance?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame.
What?
I mean, 'cause dancing is just about the most fun there is once you get the hang of it.
Private, get on with your work.
Yes, ma'am. Captain?
What now?
I bet there are a lot of nice officers on this base that are just dying for you to learn.
Look here.
Like that Colonel Van Pale. I seen him through the officers' club window one night while I was on duty, and he was dancing with a girl not half as pretty as you.
Private, you may go back to your quarters now.
Yes, ma'am. Captain? If you'll excuse me for saying this, well, I know that you're a top-notch Marine, and you really work hard at it. But you was a lady before you was a Marine, and a mighty fine lady, too. So maybe, if you'd work a little at that, I mean, maybe...
Maybe my nickname wouldn't be Iron Pants?
Why, never. Good night, ma'am.
Good night, Captain.
Good night, sir.
Captain Martin.
Yes, sir.
That's very nice, whatever it is you have on.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Good evening, ma'am. Well, don't you look nice, ma'am?
Thank you, Private.
Real nice. Well, what would you like for me to do this evening?
Private Pyle, you've completed your week of extra duty with me, you know. It won't be necessary for you to come back here anymore.
Oh, heck.
What?
Well, I was beginning to enjoy coming here every evening after chow, ma'am. And I'm gonna miss it, what? But don't you worry, I won't forget the lesson you wanted me to learn. I'll salute all officers, whether they're man or woman.
Good.
And next time you come passing by, I know just what I'll do. May I? Good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good, Private.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, I don't reckon I'll be seeing much of you anymore, ma'am.
Goodbye, Private.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Private,
Ma'am?
there are hundreds of men on this base who salute me when I walk by. If you should forget and tip your hat instead when I pass, well, if no one else is around, I'll try not to notice.
Oh, don't you worry, ma'am. I won't never forget. Well, bye, ma'am.
All right, let's go. Let's pick it all up. Let's move it. Cut. Afternoon, sir. Afternoon, ma'am. As you were. All right, let's go. Let's pick it all up. Let's get this area cleaned up. Something interesting catch your eye, Private?
Don't you look nice, Sergeant? Don't you look real nice?
Huh?
Captain Martin, don't you look nice? Bless her heart.
Pyle, that is a Marine captain you're looking at. That's all. A Marine captain.
Oh, yes, sir. But she's a lady.
Man, I just figured out why the Marines sing on their way to battle.
Yeah, why is that?
That's right.
Because after boot camp, any kind of war is like a vacation.
Boy, you ain't kidding.
Oh, it ain't all that bad. That obstacle course is good for us.
Oh, well, you get a load of this. Gomer likes the obstacle course. Hey, Gomer, what happened to Hemsley?
Last time I seen him, he was bouncing on that log, going over the mud hole. I wonder if he made it.
Oh.
He didn't make it.
Hold it, young man. There seems to be a speck of dust on your lapel.
Don't let it bother you, Hensley. At least this way you won't get sunburned.
Boy. I don't know. After all those John Wayne movies, I thought we'd be just walking around all day in a sharp blue uniform with a girl on each arm.
A girl? Ha! They won't even let us have a candy bar.
Gomer, if they gave you your choice right now, a girl or a candy bar, which one would you take?
What kind of candy bar?
Oh, brother. Listen to those clowns in there. Why don't I go in and chew them out real quick?
Wait a minute. 3 times over the obstacle course and they still got strength enough to laugh and feel good, leave them alone. That's a good group of people in there. Lots of spirit and snap. I like that. You know, Corporal, they got possibilities. That's a good group. Real good group.
10, hut!
This platoon is the sorriest bunch of knuckleheads I've ever had the agony of working with. If you don't start snapping to and shape up, there ain't the slightest possibility that any of you will even last the week. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir!
What?
Yes, sir!
I can't hear you!
Yes, sir!
All right. Now, you people averaged 5.5 minutes this afternoon on the obstacle course. That's not bad. Not bad at all. For an old ladies knitting team. But Marines do that course in under 4 minutes. So tomorrow you will do it better and faster. And Private Pyle. Good old happy Private Pyle. Is there something funny about all this, Pyle? Is there? Do you find the obstacle course funny?
No, sir.
Then explain why you got a big, stupid grin on your face all the time you're running the obstacle course.
Well, sir, it's kind of hard to explain.
Try.
Well, sir, there I am doing it, and there all my buddies are. They're doing it, too, and we're all doing it together. I don't know.
That's it? That's why you're grinning?
Yes, sir. It's what the Marine guidebooks calls the spirit de corps. That means spirit of the corps.
I know what it means. And it doesn't mean grinning when you're working. When you work, you work. And you don't grin on my time. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Will you remember that?
Yes, sir. Grin after lights out only.
All right. Now, you people, listen up.
Sir, Private Harry Phillips requests permission to speak to drill instructor, sir.
Get that cover off.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you want?
Sir, Private Harry Phillips reporting as assigned to platoon 318.
You've been transferred to this platoon?
Yes, sir.
All right, grab a rack. Remember, tomorrow you will run that obstacle course in 4 minutes flat. And if you do it real nice, I might even let you do it with full field packs on your back. As you work.
Sir.
What is it now?
Permission to get my gear. It's in the duty hut, sir.
Move it. Phillips guy, we would have to get him.
You know him?
I know about him. I heard he's a real troublemaker. He's goofed up in 2 platoons already.
Why don't we straighten him out in advance then? Really lay down the law.
I don't want him fouling up this platoon. It's too good a group.
Let's tell him.
Wait a minute. Move it! On second thought, let the platoon straighten him out.
Huh?
It's better if they do it. They gotta live with the guy. After all, I'm not always around to straighten out their problems for them.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. You know what that's called? Strategy.
Hey, there's my bunk.
Did you hear what he said? It's his bunk.
I expect I didn't make myself clear. There's my bunk.
Can't you get another one?
I suppose so, but I picked this one out special. On account of it's just 11 steps from the door. Same as my bed in the filling station back home.
You don't say.
Uh-huh. The other night, a car honked its horn going down the highway. Don't you know I heard it? Got up, automatic, walked them 11 steps right out that door.
But this racket do me nice. You see, I had a bunk in the same exact spot in the other barracks.
Is that a fact?
And now I'm in a strange place.
Well, you take it then. Shoot, I can find another.
Good.
Clean forgot my manners, didn't introduce myself. I'm Gomer Pyle. Heard the sergeant say you're Harry Phillips.
Alert, very alert.
You'll like this platoon, Harry. It's a great bunch of guys. Talk about a spirit de corps. They've really got it. You might as well meet some of them now. This here's Duke. And that's Vern Williams. Vern here's a natural-born athlete. That there's Joey Lombardi. His folks come all the way from Naples, Italy. That's an Italian place. He talks it, too. Hey, Joey, say something in Italian.
Come on, Gomer.
He taught me how to say Mamma Mia. That means my mama. Italians say that a lot.
How about that?
Well, I guess I better go make up my bunk. Go ahead and meet some of the other fellas, Harry.
Hey, Gomer, you don't have to give that creep your bunk.
Oh, I expect one's as good as another. Besides him being new here, we ought to do our best to make him feel at home.
Why?
Well, he is new here, and I expect he's shy.
Hey, Pyle!
Shy, huh? He's pretty pushy for a guy who's shy.
Oh, that's just his way. It's to help him get over his being shy.
Huh?
You see, some folks who are shy try to fool you into thinking they ain't by making a lot of noise. Now, that's fact.
Gomer, you should have been a psychiatrist.
A what?
A doctor who talks to people about their problems.
Not me. I'm too shy.
You got a real good stroke there, Gomer.
Gosh, it's real kind of you to say.
I've been watching. It's really slick.
Shoot. Raking's just raking. Nothing to it.
Not the way you do it. Someday when you get a chance, you think you show me how?
I'll show you now if you like.
You think you got time?
It's nothing much but a reach and pull, all sort of gradual like. Reach and pull, reach and pull. Whenever you do it smooth, it's less tiring.
It sure is.
Or you can hum under your breath. Whenever I rake, I find myself humming under my breath. You know what goes real good with it? Seesaw Marjorie doll.
No.
Uh-huh. What? Seesaw Marjorie doll, Jack shall have a new master. He shall make but a penny a day because he can't work any faster.
Good.
You can do other songs with it, too. Sometimes I do hymns, like When the Roll is Called Up Yonder or Beulah Land.
Good idea. Don't miss that corner down there.
Sometimes when I'm raking, I squint my eyes, and it's just like I was flying in an airplane real high over fields that's just been plowed.
You're right. It does. I think I'm catching on, Gomer.
Hey, that's it. You got it.
Do you call this area policed? Well, do you?
No, sir.
Your orders were to rake it, weren't they?
Yes, sir.
Then why didn't you rake it? Any reason?
No, sir.
Since you've been saving your strength, when you finish here, you can move that sand pile over there to the other side of the field, bucket by bucket. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, get busy. Rest of you people, secure the quarters.
Aye, sir!
When the roll is called up yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, when the roll... Hey, Joey.
Gomer, you never learn. You sure let yourself get taken in. You know what kind of a crumb that Phillips guy is? I mean, he got you into this.
Well, I will admit he makes it kind of hard to have faith in him, but I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Why, Gomer? What for?
Well, there's just some people that you can't give up on. Like this feller back home, Lemuel Spurgeon. Well, he was real mean and he done ugly things, and everybody had give up on him, except his mama. Then he done this real bad thing, and they sent him off to prison, but his mama still had faith in him. But while he was in prison, he decided he'd take up a trade. And do you know something? Today, Lemuel Spurgeon is one of the finest cabinet makers in the state penitentiary. All because his mama had faith in him. same with Harry Phillips. He may turn out.
Yeah, but in the meantime, buddy, you don't have to be his patsy. He's playing you for a sucker.
Shh, here he comes now, Joey.
Ignore him. Don't let him put any more over on you.
Why don't I just ask him if he's trying to make a sucker out of me?
Gomer, you
Hey,
can't...
Harry,
Well, Gomer, you working hard?
there's something I want to ask you, and I want you to tell me the truth. Are you trying to make a sucker out of me?
Huh?
Well, some of the fellers in the platoon, and I ain't mentioning no names, maybe that's what you're trying to do, is play me for a sucker. Are you?
Well, what if I am?
Huh?
I mean, somebody's got to be the patsy. So why shouldn't it be you? Does that answer your question?
Okay, now you heard him. Now you know. Look, there's only one way you're gonna get that jerk off your back. The next time he tries to pull something on you, let him have it good, right in the lavans.
You mean fighting?
Well, you're not gonna keep taking that stuff from him, are you?
Yeah, but fighting.
Yes, let him have it good. Believe me, Gomer.
You will always find us on the job, the United States Marine. Hey, y'all know what that is? It's the second verse of the Marine hymn. Not too many folks know it. Hey, you won't learn it. It won't take me but a minute to teach it to you.
Oh, knock it off.
Try something else, will you?
Now we're a bunch of crab apples this morning.
Gomer, look, the guys are a little tired, you know, from the obstacle course. You'll teach them another time, okay, buddy?
Okay, but it's a nice verse. Our flag's unfurled.
Yeah, sounds swell, Gomer. Sounds swell, man.
Hey, Harry, that's my bunk you're on.
I know, Gomer. I didn't think you'd mind.
But you ain't supposed to be on them during the day.
I know. That's why I picked this one. It's further from the front door.
Come on, Harry, get off.
Okay, in a minute.
You heard him. Get off.
Why, you gonna make me?
Yeah, I might.
You gonna do something about it?
Yeah, I am.
Now, Joey,
Look out, Gomer.
Average time on the obstacle course, 5.5 minutes. That equals the record set by Grandma Moses. Now, this afternoon, we will have bayonet drill with the pugil sticks. And this platoon will... Whose rack is this?
Mine, sir.
This rack looks like somebody's been on it.
Yes, sir. It does, sir.
You been taking yourself little mid-morning siestas, Pyle?
No, sir.
Well, it looks that way. You know the rule about getting on your rack during the day?
Yes, sir.
Straighten it. And since you got yourself a little rest, I guess you feel up to a little extra duty? So you can move that sand pile again tonight after chow. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
As you were.
Gomer, why didn't you tell the sergeant it wasn't you in the rack? Why didn't you tell him it was that creep here?
I'd have belt you for that.
Wait a minute. I can take care of this. I don't need nobody to fight my fights for me. Harry, I want you to come outside.
What?
I'm inviting you to step outside with me.
That's the way.
Come on, Harry.
You sure you know what you're doing, country?
I know.
Get him over.
Hey, you guys! Stay in here. Leave him alone. Just the two of them between the huts won't attract any attention.
How about that, Gomer, huh? He finally had enough of that creep.
Well, there's just so much a guy can take from a rat like Phillips, even Gomer.
Yeah.
The window. Come on.
You think Gomer can take him?
Sure, I know the type. He don't rile easy, but when he blows, look out.
Well, this is as good a place as any. Would you step a touch closer?
This is close enough.
Well, I don't want the fellers inside to hear.
Hear what?
Well, what I got to say. That's the reason I asked you to step out here. I thought it'd be more private-like to talk. I didn't want to embarrass you by saying this in front of the other fellers. But, Harry, to be out and out with it, there are them here that don't think that you've been behaving yourself too attractively. Now, you may have the best reason in the world for being so contrary since you come here. Whether it was the haircut or the tight shoes or whether it's the world situation or a lumpy pillow you've been sleeping on, the fact remains is you got to change your ways. Now, a smart fella like you ought to be able to figure that out. But mainly, the thing I wanted to say is there's still a bright side to this. You can make up for everything. 1, you got to start doing your own chores. 2, you got to quit lying on other folks' bunks. 3, you got to stop picking fights with little Joey. And let me see if there's a 4th one. No? Well, anyway, just behave yourself more attractively. Well, that's all.
Wait a minute. You asked me out here to talk?
Yeah. Would you like me to go over them again? 1.
No, I got it.
Good. Believe me, I don't like this any more than you do. But it was bound to come to this sooner or later. Why, things was getting so bad we was about to lose our spread decors. Do you know what that means?
I do. Gomer, I gotta admit it. I can't figure you out. I don't know what you're more of, dumb or chicken.
He asked him out for a little talk. My strategy didn't work.
Oh, that was the strategy?
That's right. I knew Pyle didn't mess up his bunk. I knew it was that guy Phillips. I figured if I gigged him for it, then he'd finally stand up to Phillips. That's strategy.
But it didn't work.
I know. I just said that. Wait a minute. I know why he didn't fight. Pyle is a book recruit. He didn't want to go against regulations. I can set his mind easy on that. Go get him.
You can't tell one recruit to fight another.
I'm not going to tell him to fight him. I'm going to do it another way. Strategy. Well, I've been noticing this thing between you and Phillips, and I don't like it one bit. But I ain't got time to play nursemaid to all you people. Now, some of these things you got to take care of yourself. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, for the most part, the Corps takes a dim view of recruits brawling and settling their problems among themselves. But there are times when I am not around. Do I have to say any more?
No, sir. I remember what you said. I promise there won't be no fighting of any sort whatever.
How's that?
Well, sir, I'm ashamed to say this, but you got me here right in the nick of time. That feller had me so riled up from a talk we had, I'd most likely be tangling with him right this minute if you hadn't set me straight.
You mean you were going to...
What's more, I'll make sure that none of the other fellers lay a hand on him neither. You and my daddy say the same thing. There ain't one fight in a million that accomplishes nothing. I remember, sir.
All right, Pop. All right, just go.
Sir? Did I say something wrong?
Just go, go, go!
I said something wrong.
Well, your strategy didn't work again.
You shut up! What that knucklehead doesn't understand is he'd be doing Phillips a favor.
How do you figure?
A guy like Phillips has got to get it drilled into him that nobody but nobody's going to be his patsy. Once he finds that out, he'll settle down and be a good recruit. He'll solve a problem for himself and for the whole platoon. Right now, Pyle's the only one that can do that. You people will now pair up for bayonet fighting using the pugil sticks. This pugil stick represents your rifle. The end with a stripe on it is the bayonet. The plain end is the butt of your rifle. Now remember, from the on-guard position, you can make 5 attack movements. Corporal? The slash, hack! The jab, hack! The vertical butt stroke, hack! The horizontal butt stroke, flat! The smash, hack, hack! Thank you, Corporal. Now, first 2 people. Phillips. And...
Sergeant, may I?
Not now, Pyle.
Please, sir.
You sure, Pyle? Don't you want to observe a little first?
No, sir. I know what I'm doing. I want to. I really want to.
All right. Suit up. Now, you people remember, there are 5 attack movements you can make from the on-guard position. The slash, the jab, the vertical butt stroke, the horizontal butt stroke, and the smash. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. You 2 men ready? All right, move back, give them room.
Take it easy.
On guard.
Watch out now, Gomer. Go for it. Watch out, boy. Take it easy. It's hard. Watch out, Gomer. Keep on dancing around, Gomer. Don't let him hit you. Don't let him hit you solid. Watch out now, Gomer.
I'm doing this for your own good, Harry.
Come on, Gomer. Now get on. Come on, baby. Come on, Gomer. Come on, baby. Come on, Gomer. That's it. Hey. Come on. Hey. Come on, Gomer. Get him again. One more. Get him, Gomer.
All right, Phillips, you've had it. Okay, Lombardi, let's see how you make out.
Watch him, Joey.
Yeah, watch him, Gomer.
Hey, Joey.
Get out of here. I don't get it, Pyle. How come you can knock that Phillips flat and yet you can't even handle that little Lombardi guy?
Well, sir, you see, the big feller needed a lesson, and the little feller didn't. Hey, Harry. Just wanted to tell you I'm sorry about that bayonet practice. The fact is,
shut up. What are you doing, Pyle? Daydreaming? What's the matter with you?
Sir, can I ask you a question?
What is it?
Well, wasn't it your belief that once Harry Phillips got himself knocked down a few times, he'd be a better recruit?
That's right.
And once that was accomplished, why, I'd solve things around here more or less?
That's right.
Well, sir, if you don't mind my saying so, it ain't solved nothing. Harry Phillips is still as mean as he can be.
Nah, you're wrong, Pyle. It did solve something.
Sir?
For one thing, he's being transferred to another platoon. As for making him a better recruit, well, one knock on one afternoon ain't gonna do it. But if somebody else in his next platoon can take up where you left off, then somebody else after him, well, who knows?
He might even get a esprit de corps, mightn't he?
That's right. He might even get the esprit de corps. Pyle, you are a knucklehead, you are a goof-off, you are a gold brick. Have you ever heard that?
No, sir. Wally, my boss back home, used to call me a jabbernail and a mooncalf, but never the ones you say.
Then I'll say 'em again. Knucklehead, goof-off, and gold brick.
Never heard those words where I come from, Sergeant. You must be from the Midwest.
Knock it off. Pyle, I will tell you what a gold brick is. A gold brick is a person who does not do his work, who does not pull his load. Pyle, you are a gold brick.
No, sir,
You have not done a decent day's work all week, Pyle, all week.
Yes, sir. Ask anybody. Hey, fellers.
As you were. Pyle, do you realize you get paid a salary? Do you realize you're accepting money under false pretenses? Pyle, you are stealing money.
Why, I never.
Stealing?
No, sir. Even back home when I worked at the filling station, and I'd get a coin out of the cash register for the pop machine, I always left a note saying Gomer owes.
Well, you better leave a note for the U.S. taxpayer, because that's who pays your salary. And he pays it no matter what. His kid might go without roller skates, but you get paid.
Well, that's just terrible.
It is when you goof off and don't earn it. And, Pyle, this week you have not earned it. All right, all you people, listen up. Pay call will be at 0800 in the duty hut. You will report there at that hour, and you will not keep the pay officer waiting. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
As you were. Pyle, how you can accept that money after the week you put in, I'll never know.
Sir, Private Richard Hemsley.
Sign.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Private Gomer Pyle.
Sign. What are you doing, Private?
I'm returning some, sir.
What?
Well, sir, I didn't work hard enough last week, so I oughtn't to get paid for it. I'm returning part of my pay, sir, $10.
You return it?
That money should go to some taxpayer to buy some roller skates for his young'un. Thank you, sir.
That's a conscientious recruit. Or he's a nut.
Don't spend that all in one place, Gomer.
That's a good one, dude. Excuse me, sir.
At ease, Pyle.
You're gonna be real proud of me, sir.
What?
I returned a whole week's pay, and I feel a whole lot better about it, too.
Why? Why'd you do that?
You remember that there fine speech you gave to me about how I was stealing a week's pay from the taxpayers? Well, I got to thinking about it, and I decided you was right. So what I done, I just returned a whole week's pay. Feel real good about it, too.
You returned a week's pay? Just gave it back?
Yes, sir. If it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have done it at all. Sergeant, you deserve all the credit.
I don't want any credit.
You don't, sir?
No, I don't know what this is all about, but I sure don't want any credit.
You know something, sir? You sure are modest for a sergeant.
Yeah, I'm modest. Now get back to your quarters.
You know what my grandma always said? She said, modesty is one of the kingly virtues in this whole world.
Move it! Move it! Move it!
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight, Lieutenant. One man didn't take full pay, right?
That's right, sir. The recruit's name's Gomer Pyle. He had some crazy story about not deserving it. He just left it and ran off.
What?
That's right, sir. He said he didn't work hard enough last week.
You kidding me?
No, sir.
Oh, I never heard anything like this.
No, sir. Neither have I.
Gomer Pyle, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, he's either very conscientious or he's a nut.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll put it through just like this. Battalion will handle it.
What's a Gomer Pyle, anyway?
It's a recruit, sir.
A recruit? What kind of a recruit sends back money?
Well, I'm not sure, sir.
Darndest thing I ever heard of.
Yes, sir.
You know what I think? I think it's a publicity stunt.
Yes, sir, it could be.
Yeah. Some man will do anything to get the name in the paper. This Pyle's probably an actor who figures to make a fuss and cash in on the publicity. Gomer. Gomer. Sounds like an actor's name, doesn't it?
May I suggest, sir, we send the money back down the line to the original officer who took the money and have him return it to this pile? That way, there won't be any publicity on this level.
Good idea. Send it on back down with my endorsement. And I want a signed receipt to make sure he receives the money.
Yes, sir.
Ever hear anything like this before?
No, sir. I can't say as I have, sir.
Well, as I say, he's probably an actor after publicity. Or he's a nut.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant. You wanted to see me, sir?
Yes, I did. Gomer Pyle is in your platoon, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that Pyle returned part of his pay this month?
He didn't.
Yes, he said he didn't earn it. Where do you suppose he got an idea like that?
I don't know, sir.
Is it possible he got the idea from you?
Me, sir?
Yes, you know how a recruit might misinterpret an order he gets from his DI.
Well, it's possible he might have misunderstood something I said to him, sir.
Like what?
Well, I'd shoot him out for not working hard enough. I do that to all the men. He's the first knucklehead that ever insisted on returning money. That's all it was, sir, just a little misunderstanding.
It's gotten to be quite a big misunderstanding, Sergeant.
It has, sir?
It has. I won't waste time. I want you to get Pyle to take this money back. As a matter of fact, I'd do it within the next 36 hours.
I'll get him to take it back, sir. Oh, I'll get him to take it back.
Sergeant, we need a signed receipt from Pyle, and he won't be able to do that if he has a broken arm.
Pyle.
Hey, Sergeant, sir. You like my painting work?
Ah, that's beautiful. Did you sign your name at the bottom of it?
Sign my name. Oh, you mean like them artist fellers do whenever they paint a picture? Oh, I got you now. Hey, Sergeant, you know something? You're really witty. Sign my name.
Well, before you sign that, sign this.
What's that, sir?
Never mind, just sign it.
Can I read it?
I doubt it. All right, you read it, now sign it.
But, sir, this says I took back that there week's pay.
That's right. Now, I don't want any trouble over this. Just sign it.
Well, I sure as heck don't want to cause you any trouble, sir, but I just couldn't take back that there taxpayer's money.
Why not?
Well, it ain't my money. I didn't earn it.
Well, never mind about that. Right now, I want you to take this money back and sign this receipt. Now, sign it, Pyle. Sign it.
I just couldn't, sir.
Sign the paper, Pyle. Sign it.
But, sir...
Now, Pyle, you listen to me. Look, Pyle, I can't order you to sign this. So what I'm doing is, I'm asking you to take the money back and sign this receipt. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, sign it.
But I couldn't take back something that don't belong to me. You was right about me not earning that money, right as rain. That's the reason I turned it back in. Some poor taxpayer's young'un having to do without his roller skates.
Forget the roller skates. Sign it, sign it.
I sure would like to oblige, Sergeant, but you know what's guiding me in this situation?
What?
My grandma. Grandma Pyle always used to say, a workman should be worthy of his hire. Bless her heart.
All right! You'll sign it! You'll sign it! You'll sign it if it's the last thing you do. You'll sign it! You like everybody else!
sure.
You know what I'd do? I'd stick his head underwater and I wouldn't let him up until he signed that receipt. Or I might kill him and send the money to his next of kin.
Look, will you just do your work and let me think?
Okay. Okay. You got it, right?
I got it.
You're gonna kill him?
No, listen. I'll do it with a game.
Oh, you mean we're gonna play a game and the winner kills Pyle? That's
Listen, will you? I'm gonna hold a raffle, and the winner gets the money. Now, guess who the winner's gonna be? Private Gomer Pyle.
How's he gonna win?
Oh, he'll win. He'll win or I'll kill him. Take a slip and get inside for the drawing. Take a slip. Take a slip. Take a slip. Come on.
Excuse me, sir. What is it, sir?
Some silly thing dreamed up by some morale officer to keep you sissies happy. Now, take a slip and get inside. It's for a raffle.
Oh, what's the prize, sir?
The prize is in this envelope. How do I know what's inside of it? Take a slip and get inside and don't ask so many stupid questions.
Yes, sir.
Take a slip. Take a slip. All right? Take a slip. Keep the line moving. Take a slip. Take a slip. Take a slip. Take a slip.
Oh, shoot. I got number 7.
What are you complaining about? 7's a lucky number.
Not for me. 6 was always my lucky number. I had a hog once, and I entered him in a contest, and he was number 6, and he won.
Hey, Gomer, I got number 6. I'll swap with you.
No fooling?
Sure, I'll take 7.
Hey, that's a good deal.
What do you guys think the price is gonna be?
It's me.
Catch. Hut. As you were. All right, you people. This is going to be just like a raffle back home. Here are the matching numbers. I'll draw a number from the helmet, and the winner takes the prize. And it's back to work once this foolishness is over with.
Back home, whenever they had a raffle, they always ask up an impartial party to do the drawing.
Pyle, are you accusing me of not being impartial?
Gosh, no, sir. I never knew what impartial meant.
All right. I don't like nobody questioning my impartialness. All right, now for the drawing. The lucky number is 7.
Hey, that's me, sir.
All right, Pyle, just sign the official winner's form and take the prize. All right, Pyle.
Sir.
Come on, Pyle, what are you waiting for? Take the prize.
Sir.
What do you want?
Sir, I have the winning number.
You do not.
Didn't you say number 7, sir?
Right, Pyle.
There it is, sir. Number 7.
Pyle, what number have you got?
6. I had the winning number, but I swapped with you. I guess 6 is only lucky for hogs.
Hogs? Hogs.
Sir, about the prize. What was the prize, sir?
Look, I was against this from the beginning. I don't think we have to entertain a bunch of recruits.
Sir, but I just...
No buts. The next time somebody comes up with this, I'll tell them what I think about this kind of idea.
Sir, I was just curious, what was the prize?
100 push-ups. Do you want them?
No, sir.
All right.
That sure is a curious prize for a raffle. They used to give away a turkey or a TV set, but 100 push-ups.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, Curly. Just put the receipt on my desk. Just leave the receipt, Sergeant.
It hasn't been signed, sir.
It hasn't?
No, sir. Private Pyle refuses the money, and I can't get him to take it. And, sir, regulations don't show where a recruit can be forced to take money. I looked every place, and I can't find anything.
I see. Got any suggestions, Carter?
No, sir, I tried everything.
Okay, I guess the depot commander can solve it.
General Wells?
That's right. I'm sending this whole thing to him.
Oh, sir, I don't think you have to do that.
No? I don't have much choice. You know who's waiting for that receipt, Sergeant? The Pentagon.
The Pentagon?
That's right.
Pentagon.
There we go, Sergeant. Carry on.
Pentagon.
Hi, Vince. So you took care of it.
Huh?
I mean, you went right to the top. No horsing around with you, right?
What are you talking about?
Pyle. He got called up to General Wells' office.
Pyle is with the general? What do they want him for?
Well, don't you know?
Well, I didn't arrange it.
No?
Oh, that does it. You know good and well he'll tell the general that whole stupid story about how I got him to turn back his pay.
You think he would?
Vince, you've been ordered to report to General Wells on the double.
What'd I tell you? You know you were right. You told me to kill him. You should have listened. Now it's too late.
Yes, sir. Right, sir. Very good, sir. I'll get on it right away. Sergeant?
Sergeant Carter, sir.
The general wants you to go right in.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, it's all been taken care of. I have the recruit working here now, and I see his drill instructor has just come in. Oh, yes, General, I'll tell him. Right. Goodbye, sir.
Sergeant Carter reporting as ordered, sir.
At ease, Sergeant. That was Washington, Sergeant.
Pentagon?
Pentagon. How long have you had those stripes, Sergeant?
It would have been... It will be 9 years next month, sir.
Sergeant Carter, I'm going to make an example of you for the benefit of every non-com on this post. Now, Private Pyle has told me all about this pay incident, and he laid the responsibility directly on you.
He did?
Sergeant, any man who can instill the devotion and loyalty to the corps that you've instilled in Private Pyle deserves to be commended.
Well, sir, I can explain. Sir, did the general say commended or condemned?
Commended, Sergeant, commended. When you get a boot to return a week's pay because his sergeant told him he didn't earn it, that's a pretty big sacrifice. The sergeant in question must be a very good sergeant. Well done, Sergeant. Well, that's all. I just wanted to let you know.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yes, Sergeant.
Begging the general's pardon, but, sir, if the general is pleased with Private Pyle's activities, why is he being punished, sir?
Punished, Sergeant? Oh, you mean the scrubbing?
Yes, sir.
That's not punishment, Sergeant. That was Private Pyle's idea.
Sir?
Overtime. You see, Gomer thought it might be a good idea for him to put in a few extra hours every day and earn that money back.
Oh?
I think it was a fine idea, don't you?
That is a good idea. Yes, sir, it's a very good idea. That was Gomer's idea, sir?
That's right, Sergeant. That's all.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Sergeant. Remember, a workman should be worthy of his hire.
Grandma Pyle. Yes, sir. how's the work, Pyle?
Oh, hey, Sergeant, sir. I didn't see you. Gee, don't you look slick? Got on your tie and everything.
Well, I just came from a little meeting of all the DIs. The general thought it'd be a good idea if I gave a little talk on how to instill responsibility in the men.
Well, you're just the one what can do it.
Well, look, if you want to knock this off now, it's okay.
Shazam, you mean just quit?
That's right. Take some time off. Just don't let anybody see you while you're standing around, huh?
Boy, that's great. Let's see now. Half a day at 73 a month.
What are you doing?
I was just trying to figure out how much I'd have to give back to the paymaster this month for taking a half day off. 30 days.
Pyle, get back there!
They need constant looking after, a lot of supervision. He tried to project an air of fatherly authority. You're sure? Lucky to have somebody like Captain Blackwood. Guster chimed in, ever supportive. There ain't nothing he doesn't know. Isn't nothing. Bumble. Isn't nothing. Blackwood corrected through gritted teeth, wishing Guster would just stop talking. Miss Tracy, he's watching us all the time. Guster continued, marveling at Blackwood's omniscience. Electrostar's eyes twinkled as she caught the underlying tension. Yes, I have to keep my eye on him every minute, she said, playing along with Blackwood's desperate attempt at gravitas. You never can tell when one of them is going to do something foolish. She gave Blackwood an understanding, albeit mischievous, smile, clearly enjoying the chaotic turn of events brought about by the well-meaning Guster Bumble. Blackwood, for his part, could only manage a strained grimace, inwardly praying for the ground to swallow him whole. The daily routines of Fort Ironclad usually operated with the precision of a finely tuned machine, particularly when it came to physical training. But Captain Corvus Blackwood had found a way to inject a potent dose of competitive mania into even the most mundane exercises. Personal contests with Captain Hammer Hayes, his longtime rival. Captain Hayes, commander of the 2nd Platoon, was everything Blackwood wasn't: boisterous, broad-shouldered, and annoyingly successful in these challenges. Their rivalry was legendary on base, manifesting in escalating bets over everything from drill team inspections to mess hall cleanup scores. Blackwood had, of late, been on an interminable losing streak, resulting in a continuous stream of steak dinners at Hayes's preferred, excessively loud, and overpriced restaurant. The latest was All right, you men, ready, Harper? Captain Hayes boomed, standing over one of his beefy privates. Any time, Vince. Private Harper replied, flexing. Let them have a count on you, McGuire. Hayes urged another soldier. All right, you ready? Again. Come on, McGuire. Come on. That's your time. 20, going on. Hayes shouted, spurring his men on. Blackwood watched from a distance, simmering. His platoon had just completed their own push-up challenge, a valiant but ultimately futile effort. Well, old buddy, Hayes swaggered over, a triumphant grin on his face. It appears you owe me another steak dinner. Blackwood's eye twitched. Yeah, nice work, Harper. Looks like my men just aren't cut out for this particular brand of torture. Hey look, Hayes continued, oblivious to Blackwood's irritation. Can't your boys do anything better than mine? This endless winning streak is getting to be kind of a bore. Yeah, well it ain't gonna last forever, Hayes. Blackwood shot back, his jaw tight. One of these days, my men will surprise you. Sure, but if you'll excuse me, I gotta go change. Hayes chuckled. I want to look my best for dinner tonight. You can pick me up around 8, dearie. He slapped Blackwood on the back, leaving a triumphant, if condescending, smile. Blackwood rubbed his back, glaring after his retreating rival. Maurice, another day. Captain, he muttered to himself. I never saw a guy with so much luck. One of these days, Blackwood vowed to no one in particular. I'm going to wipe that smug grin off his face, even if it costs me my pension. The next morning, Private Guster Bumble approached Blackwood's office, fresh from his window-cleaning duties, his face bright with cheerful innocence. As always. Morning, Captain, Guster chirped. Did you have yourself a nice dinner with Captain Hayes last night? He said it would be mighty tasty, and wasn't that feller of his good at his setups? Up, down, just as fast as you could count. Up, down, up, down. All right. Blackwood snapped, the memory of Hayes's gloating still fresh. And you took it so nicely. Captain Guster continued, ever observant. That's one of the things I admire most about you, is you're such a good loser. Real gracious. You are. Blackwood exhaled slowly. Well, I've had an awful lot of practice lately. Bumble, thank you for noticing. But it's a wonderful virtue, Guster insisted. My daddy used to always say back home, anybody can be a good winner, but it takes a whole lot to be a good loser. Makes you a man of real character. It does. Yeah. And it takes a heap of living to make a house a home. Bumble. Blackwood growled, fighting a desperate battle for patience. Will you just clean the windows? I have to listen to Hayes. I have to listen to his big mouth every day, and I have to favor his meals every night. This is even worse than being married. Private. Don't worry, Vince, Quill said, poking his head into the office, offering a rare moment of civilian comfort. You'll catch up to him yet. You'll see. We just need to find the right challenge. Well, it better happen sooner, or I'll have to quit the Marines to sign up for the poverty program. Quill, Blackwood exclaimed, gesturing at his depleted wallet. These guys have been beating us in everything. Football, baseball, basketball. What's left, huh? Nettie? Marge? Or what? Hey, Captain, we're in. Sprocket burst in, practically bouncing with excitement, followed by Private Hodge. Wait till you hear this. What is this? Sprocket, Blackwood demanded, already suspecting more Guster-esque chaos. This is Larson, one of the new men we got in on those transfers from Fort Apache, Hodge explained, pushing a shy-looking private forward. Yeah, I know. So, Private Larson. So you know what Larson was before he joined up. Captain. An archery instructor, Sprocket blurted out, unable to contain himself. Archery. Blackwood raised an eyebrow. Archery, you know, bows and arrows. So he's good at archery. Oh, I mean, he's really good, Captain, Sprocket insisted. Good enough, I would say, to put your money on. I mean, a real pro. Blackwood's eyes narrowed. Archery, huh? And you're pretty good at it. Larson, a quiet man with surprisingly strong forearms, shuffled his feet. Well, I've won a few competitions. No kidding, Captain Hodge chimed in. Ha 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 ha. He's got a room full of trophies at home from contests. Tell him, Larson. Don't be so modest. You mean you actually did this bow and arrow shooting in competition? Blackwood pressed Larson. Well, I won a few, Larson confirmed. Still back. Ha ha ha, how's that, then? Blackwood's face lit up with a predatory grin. This was it. A chance. We can knock a little Hayes off with a bow and arrow, can't we? That's what I mean, Captain Sprocket exclaimed. Welcome to the 1st platoon, Larson. Come on, let's get over to the leisure lair and grab some equipment. Bows and arrows. How about that? Hayes won't suspect a thing, Blackwood hissed, rubbing his hands together. Look, we gotta keep this under wraps. Sprocket, you get Larson back to the barracks at the back door and see that he keeps resting. We need him sharp, right, Captain? Right, Captain, Sprocket replied, already pulling Larson away. Come on, boys! Let's get him some brand new equipment. Blackwood turned to Guster, who was still diligently cleaning a window, his head practically inside the glass pane. Sergeant, anything you want me to do? Guster asked, peering at Blackwood with earnest blue eyes. Huh, no, nothing. Bumble, Blackwood said, waving him away. I don't want any follow-ups, any loose lips. This is a delicate operation. Archery, how about that? Blackwood chuckled to himself, already savoring the sweet taste of victory. Later that morning, Captain Corvus Blackwood strode across the parade ground, a swagger in his step that hadn't been seen since before the Slippery Sam incident. He spotted Captain Hayes near the Chowmuster Hall, holding court with some of his men. Well, my old friend, Captain Hayes, Blackwood called out, his voice unnervingly cheerful. Did you enjoy your steak dinner last night? Hayes, caught off guard by Blackwood's sudden good mood, narrowed his eyes. Fine. Like always, he said. Wary. Good. We'll have to do it again sometime. Oh, by the way, you did say you would compete with us in anything, didn't you, Hayes? Anything, Blackwood practically purred. Hayes puffed out his chest. That's right, Blackwood. Any sport you can name. My men are top physical specimens. Good. I'll be able to see you a little later, around the leisure lair, Blackwood said, giving a subtle wink to his hidden ace in the hole. Ah, it's a lovely morning, isn't it, boys? Just lovely. He gave a triumphant wave and walked away, leaving a perplexed Hayes scratching his head. Blackwood knew that, for his plan to work, he had to keep Larson a complete secret. No leaks, no early tips, just a simple, public challenge Hayes couldn't refuse. But fate, in the form of Guster Bumble, always had other ideas. See you later, Jensen, Hayes called to one of his men. Hi, Captain Hayes, Guster chirped, still meticulously cleaning a window on a nearby building. Hey, you're doing a good job in those windows, Hayes remarked, trying to decipher Blackwood's odd behavior. Well, thank you, Captain, Guster replied. Corners still need another touch, though, you know. Corners are such a gathering place for dirt and grime, and once it gets baked in there. Well, you see, I just brought over the movie schedule for Captain Blackwood, Hayes explained, holding up a folded piece of paper. He's not here, huh? No, sir, you must have just missed him, Guster explained. Any idea where he's off to? Oh, yeah, Guster continued, completely oblivious to Blackwood's earlier directive. He went over to the leisure lair to get the archery equipment. Hayes's eyes, which had been idly scanning the building, snapped to Guster's face. Archery, hum. You know, bows and arrows. Oh, archery. See, I didn't know he went in for that. Blackwood never struck me as the Robin Hood type. Oh, it wasn't for him, sir, Guster explained cheerfully. It's for this new fella we just got in. Private Larson. He used to teach it at the YMCA back home. Real good shot. He is... Ooh, Hayes asked, his voice now flat, dangerously so. Ham. He's won contests and everything, Guster confirmed, beaming. Isn't that interesting? Hayes murmured, a dark storm brewing behind his eyes. Yeah, it sure is. Well, don't forget those corners. Private, I always look at the corners. They tell a story. Oh, I won't, Captain Hayes. Guster promised, on account of once that dirt gets baked in there, it's really hard to get out. I remember one time back home, I never could get it out, no matter how much soap I used. Almost ruined the wood. It did. Hayes just nodded, a grim smile on his face, his mind already churning with how to counter Blackwood's ambush. Guster Bumble, once again, had unwittingly blown Blackwood's meticulously laid plans to smithereens. The archery range, a rarely used section of Fort Ironclad's outdoor recreational area, was buzzing with an unusual level of excitement. Captain Blackwood and Captain Hayes stood opposite each other, surrounded by their respective platoons, the tension palpable. Hayes had indeed taken Blackwood's bait, agreeing to an archery contest, unaware, he thought, of Blackwood's secret weapon, but Guster's blabbing had now rendered Blackwood's advantage moot. Blackwood cursed Guster silently, his dream of vengeance dissolving into frustrated helplessness. Larson, Blackwood's recruited archery expert, stood nervously, awaiting his turn. He was good, Blackwood knew, but Hayes always had a knack for pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Hey, nice corn lice, isn't it? Hayes called out, holding up a score sheet for his current shooter, one of his crack marksmen. Hold it. Hey, nice corn lice. Nice work. 2 reds is 14. The blue is 5. And on both sides, that makes 28 points. Hey, you hear that? 28 points. He grinned smugly. It's your turn, old friend. I can taste that steak already. Blackwood's heart sank. 28 points was a formidable score. He looked at Larson, who now looked paler than before. Well, Blackwood muttered, resigned. I suppose it had to happen sometime. I knew I should never have trusted anyone. Hayes winked. Yeah, well, okay, you yellow bear. Blackwood blinked. What did you call him? Hayes. Yogi Bear. Hayes chuckled. Not Yogi Bear. Blackwood. Charlie Yellow Bear. He just transferred to our outfit this morning, Sergeant Hayes said, introducing a towering, stoic private with a distinctly Native American appearance. This is Charlie Yellow Bear. Blackwood stared, aghast. Indian. A full-blooded Indian. Beautiful. How about that? The man looked as natural holding a bow, as if it were an extension of his own arm. Hayes had brought his own ringer, and a culturally appropriate one at that. Blackwood's heart sank. Yellow Bear knocked an arrow with fluid grace, his movements economical and precise. He drew the bowstring back, his muscles rippling, and released the arrow. It flew, a silver blur, straight into the dead center of the bullseye. How about that? Blackwood, Hayes crowed, ecstatic. A real, honest-to-gosh Indian. He's good, isn't he? Shazam. Boy, that's a good going iron, Charlie. She's about the best I've ever seen. Wasn't that good, Captain? Hayes looked at Blackwood, rubbing his nose in the defeat. Shooting like that makes you wonder why the Indians never did beat the white man. Yellow Bear simply stood there, an unreadable expression on his face. They just did. Hayes, Blackwood muttered, utterly defeated. Hey, wait a minute. Hayes, Blackwood asked, a sudden suspicion nagging at him. Where did you get that Yellow Bear, anyway? He's supposed to be in Private Smith's platoon. Oh, that? Hayes shrugged nonchalantly. Well, I needed a replacement this morning, so I went over to headquarters. And I checked some personnel records there. And what do you know? I come across Private Yellow Bear. He's in Parker's platoon, right? And when I find out he's an archery expert, I go over and talk him into joining my outfit. Because you never know when you're going to need an archery expert. I think so. Does that answer your question, Blackwood? Hayes smirked, making it clear that he had orchestrated the transfer in response to Guster's earlier leak. He'd even pulled rank on another platoon leader to get his ringer. The Indigo Canary Tavern tonight, Hayes asked, making eye contact, signaling the venue for Blackwood's next defeat. Yeah, the Indigo Canary. He paused, a mocking glint in his eye. Say, Vince, can we make it a little later tonight? Say, around 9 o'clock, or 2 hours after the sun goes down behind the teepee. Blackwood stood there, seething, his grand plan thoroughly undermined. He could feel his blood pressure rising. He looked for Guster, but the private was, for once, nowhere in sight. It's 4 o'clock, Blackwood bellowed, spotting Guster returning from a random errand, a movie schedule in his hand. Hey, Bumble, you'll find Prisky over at the mess hall. Tell him I owe him a bar of $10, and get that equipment back to the leisure lair. On the double, move it. Yes, sir, Guster replied, startled by Blackwood's sudden rage. Boy, wasn't that Indian. On the double, move it, Blackwood roared, interrupting Guster. Guster, accustomed to his captain's volatile moods, wisely scurried off. Blackwood slammed his hand against a nearby target post. Oh, he did it to me again. That infernal, blithering, well-meaning idiot. He must have got tipped off about the archery. He seethed, humiliated by his rival, showing up at an archery contest with an Indian. Funny. Very funny. There's gotta be a leak in this organization, Blackwood spat, turning to Quill, Hodge, and Sprocket, who were wisely keeping their distance. And when I find out who... Hey, Captain, Corporal, Guster reappeared, panting slightly, still carrying the movie schedule. Well, what are you doing here? I told you to pick up that dough from Prisky. Oh, I did. Here it is, Guster said, presenting a crisp $10 bill. And I took all that archery equipment back to the leisure lair. Already? Quill asked, surprised. Well, then Captain told me to do it on the double, Guster explained. And that's just what I've done. I was running like greased lightning, every step of the way. What's this, Bumble? Blackwood asked, picking up the movie schedule Guster still clutched. Well, that's the movie schedule, Guster explained. Captain Hayes brought it over and wanted to give it to you personal, but I explained you was out getting the archery equipment for the competition. Blackwood froze, the movie schedule slipping from his fingers. The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place, forming an image of pure, unadulterated disaster. Wow. Oh! Did you explain to him that I was up to no good? Private? He managed to control his voice, but just barely. So that's why. I knew it. I knew there had to be a big mouth somewhere. Blackwood screamed, spinning around to face his men. I might have known it was Bumble. Bumble, you were in for it, Private. He picked up a broom. You see this? Take a good look at it, Private. Because that's all you're going to be seeing for a week. You're going to scrub down this hut. You're going to scrub down the barracks, the chow master hall, the leisure lair. You will mop, scrub, and polish every inch of the space. And when you're done, you'll start over again. Blackwood paused, panting, realizing the absurdity of his punishment, as he still owed Hayes money for the archery match. My one chance to clap back at that fiend. Did you say that you ran to the Chowmaster Hall, the leisure lair, and back, Captain? Quill interjected, trying to steer Blackwood away from his murderous rage, a sudden thought sparking in his mind. Boyle, do you mind? Blackwood snarled at Quill. You're gonna have these bad hands and knees and feet, private. But, Captain, don't you see? Quill continued, undeterred. That's over 1.5 miles. That is. So, Blackwood scoffed. He runs like a donkey being chased by a wasp. Who cares? Well, Guster piped up, ever eager to clarify. I ran it in less than 9 minutes. Cap, almost 5.5 minutes a mile. Blackwood, Quill, Hodge, and Sprocket froze. They stared at Guster. He ran all that way in less than 9 minutes, over 1.5 miles. Blackwood repeated, disbelief warring with a dawning, shocking realization. 9 minutes, Quill said, a calculated gleam in his eye. That's good, ain't it, Captain? It's better than good, Blackwood exclaimed, his rage instantly replaced by a sudden, intense excitement. It's crazy. You've got a track star on your hands. Quill. Yeah. Guster simply nodded, accustomed to his own inexplicable abilities. Well, if I'm gonna do all that swabbing, I guess I'd better get started. Can't have no dirt in them corners. Swabbing. What? Swabbing, Bumble, Blackwood said, snatching the broom from Guster's hand. He laughed, a sudden, booming, joyful sound. That was a little joke. Private, as if I'd ever want you to do anything like that. Hey, come on. We'll be in. Sit down. Take it easy. He practically dragged Guster to a bench. That's right. Have a cigar. He tried to shove a large, unlit cigar into Guster's mouth. Guster politely refused. No, thank you, Captain. It's back to you. Thank you. Oh, look. Bumble, Blackwood said, his voice brimming with a newfound fascination. How come you get to run like this? This superhuman speed? Well, back home when I used to work at the fueling station, I was a volunteer fireman, too, Guster explained, his voice softening with nostalgia. And whenever the alarm would go off, I'd have to drop whatever I was doing and run down there to the fire station. Well, it was about 1 mile, so unless I made it in 4 or 5 minutes, I'd lose my place on the truck, and I wouldn't get to ring the bell. And I sure did like to ring that bell. Cap, mighty fun it was. So you ran the mile in 4 or 5 minutes? Quill asked, astonished. I had to, Guster insisted, his eyes wide. Otherwise, Farmer Upchurch would get to ring the bell, and he always rang it too fast and made it clangy. And I sure did like to ring that bell. Made it sing. I did. Blackwood's mind was racing. This was it. This was his opportunity. This was the counter to Hayes, the solution to his mounting gambling debts. Is it possible? Quill whispered to Blackwood. We could clock him to make sure. Right. Blackwood snapped, his voice crackling with barely contained energy. Now, look, Bumble, get back to the barracks and get some rest. Then meet us here tonight at 8 o'clock, right after dark. Only, don't tell nobody about this. Nobody. Got that? Private. Right, Captain, Guster replied, completely unaware of the strategic plotting occurring around him, just happy not to be scrubbing latrines. What's it all about, Captain? Quill asked, a greedy glint in his eye. Blackwood turned, a wide, predatory grin on his face. Well, Quill, if it works out, I'm going to give Bumble a chance to ring the bell for me, and then Hayes is going to pay for every single steak dinner I've ever eaten at the Indigo Canary Tavern. The covert training sessions took place under the cloak of darkness, away from prying eyes, at the Fort Ironclad track. Guster Bumble, blissfully unaware of the stakes involved, ran with joyous abandon, clocking impossible times that astounded Captain Blackwood and his platoon. Each night, Blackwood's hopes soared higher. A gambler finally dealt a winning hand. Blackwood laughed, clapping his hands as Guster sprinted past them, a blur of motion. You better pile on me 2 more to go. How's his time, Quill? He's running like a runaway freight train. You wouldn't believe it, Captain, Quill gasped, looking at his stopwatch. He's a rocket, a genuine rocket. How about that? Blackwood exclaimed, practically dancing with delight. Who could figure that Bumble would be the one to bail me out? I can't understand it, but there it is. At last, We got a winner. A real winner. That Hayes will never suspect. Because it's Bumble. A simple country boy. The ultimate underdog. Hey, here he comes again. Sprocket called out, cheering. You better, Pyle. You're running to ring that bell. Go. Crazy Legs. Go. Blackwood, having discovered his secret weapon, began to boast, carefully letting the news leak to Hayes. Hayes, typically smug, took the bait. The next day, Hayes sauntered over to Blackwood's office, a dubious smirk on his face. Now, I've heard everything. Blackwood, what do you mean your squad is more mobile? Just like I said, Hayes, Blackwood countered, projecting an air of casual confidence. All right, you got your guys doing push-ups and set-ups until they're muscle-bound. That's yesterday's stuff. We're geared for today. Speed is what counts. Run fast. Hit fast. I train them that way. My guys are like grease lightning. Any one of them. Blackwood thumped his chest. Hayes scoffed. Ha ha ha. That's the truth. Blackwood, any one of my guys can pass. Any one of your guys like he was standing still. In my dreams. That you'll have to show me. Hey, Blackwood challenged. His eyes glinting. It's easy to prove. Let's have a race. We've had every other kind of contest. Let's have a race. The Grand Foot Race. A race. Hayes mused, a predatory gleam in his eye. Sure. And this time, let's make it more interesting. Blackwood, not just for the Blue Plate special and its crummy diner food. Let's make it for a steak dinner with all the trimmings at the Go-Go Club. Blackwood's eyes widened. The Go-Go Club was the most expensive restaurant in Glitterati Gardens. Easily $20 a plate, if not more. This was a substantial bet, one that would truly make up for all his losses. The Go-Go Club, that could run $20 a plate. Hayes, Blackwood said, feigning hesitation. Hey Vince, you wouldn't happen to have a ringer lined up, would you? Hayes asked. His suspicions momentarily piqued. Blackwood gave a dismissive laugh. My captain, I said any one of my guys. I'll even let you pick them. He produced a meticulously prepared roster of his platoon, every name on it designed to look innocuous, especially the crossed-out one. Here, I just happen to have a roster of all the men in my platoon. What could be more fair? Go ahead, pick them. We'll make it for 1 mile on Saturday afternoon. Hayes took the roster, perusing it with an air of theatrical deliberation. He squinted at Blackwood. Do you mind? How can you smoke them ropes anyway? Let's see. Private Masters. He's that little guy, isn't he? Looks skinny, but has got some fire. Andy Chet. Hayes's finger moved down the list, and then stopped, lingering on a name. A name that was suspiciously crossed out with a single, faint line. Masters it is. Blackwood allowed himself a mental fist pump. This was too easy. Hey, just a minute, Blackwood, Hayes interjected, his gaze drawn to the deliberately smudged and barely legible cross-out. Not so fast. What's that crossed out here? Crossed out. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, Blackwood said, trying to sound nonchalant, but his heart pounded with excitement. Hayes had taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Nothing. Huh. Is nothing spelled Gomer? Hayes read out slowly, his voice laced with triumph. Well, it's just that, Bumble. He's a member of your platoon, right? He's one of your grease lightning boys, right? Hayes' smirk grew wider. Well, he's the one I picked, and the bet is on for the big spread of the Go-Go Club, so it's either Bumble or no race. Blackwood. Blackwood, though feigning a deep theatrical sigh, could barely contain his Hayes had done exactly what he wanted. He'd taken the deliberately tempting crossed-out name, assuming Blackwood was trying to hide a star player, rather than his usual bumbling, seemingly slow private. Yeah, but, Blackwood protested, playing the part of the reluctant agreement. No buts, Blackwood. It's Bumble or no race, Hayes declared. Okay, Hayes, I'll go with Bumble, Blackwood conceded, his voice heavy with false resignation. But I'm warning you, this could be a disaster for me. That night, under the guise of additional training for the big race, Blackwood, Quill, Hodge, and Sprocket met Guster at the track. Guster, in his usual earnest way, was eager to run again. You see, Bumble, we really should try another time trial tonight, Blackwood said, his voice unusually gentle, betraying no hint of the monstrous bet riding on Guster's unsuspecting shoulders. After all, the big race is tomorrow. He's conscientious. I'll start you, Quill murmured. Yeah, so do just like you did the other night. Ready? Go. Guster sprang into action, a blur of motion. Blackwood pulled out his stopwatch. Just like I've been figuring, Blackwood muttered, his brow furrowed. There's something fishy about him sometimes. Get out your stopwatch, Quill. Come on, Bumble. You're a rip. Sprocket cheered from the sidelines. How's his time? Quill, whose job it was to record Gusto's phenomenal speed, shook his head in amazement. He's even faster than before, Captain. He ain't piled up a big strong finish now. Got his time? Blackwood asked, his voice filled with an almost desperate hope. Quill stared at the stopwatch, then at Blackwood, a look of profound disbelief on his face. Well, Captain, either this watch is busted, or we're gonna be rich. He's that good, huh? Blackwood grinned, a plan already forming in his mind. Can Yellow Bear take him? Never. Quill shook his head emphatically. Looks like Blackwood's finally gonna win one, and a big one at that. Unbeknownst to them, lurking in the shadows, a figure detached itself from the fence. It was Captain Hayes. He had been sent by one of Blackwood's leaking soldiers, ostensibly to observe, but primarily to gain an advantage. Hayes had arrived to witness Guster's astounding speed. His smug expression evaporated, replaced by one of shocked concern. What a rotten trick, Hayes seethed, furious at being getting sucked in by that marked list. And the worst of it is to think that a chowderhead like Bumble is gonna do it. That lump of pure country lard. No, it just can't be. He paced furiously. Well, they were about due for a win. Hayes, he'll never live this down. Suddenly, a cynical, devious thought struck Hayes. He stopped. Hold the phone. That's it. We can still win, because Bumble is a chowderhead. All his strength is in his feet. He's got nothing upstairs. Absolutely nothing. Quill and Sprocket looked at Blackwood. So, Sprocket asked. Hayes gave a sly, predatory grin. So he'll believe anything. Leave it to me, gentlemen. I'm about to knock him off with some psychological warfare. No man, however fast, is immune to a good dose of moral guilt. He turned and disappeared back into the shadows. After the last clandestine time trial, Captain Corvus Blackwood patted Guster Bumble on the back, sending him off with encouraging words. Nice going, Bumble, Blackwood said, trying to keep his voice even, to conceal his ecstatic anticipation of tomorrow's victory. Now back to the barracks, Bumble, and get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's the big one. I'm running the gear for you if you want me to, Captain, Guster offered. Ever helpful? I can run a mile with a full pack faster than a scared rabbit. No, Blackwood said, waving him away. Save your strength for the big one tomorrow. Bumble, every bit counts. Right, Captain. Whatever you say. Good night, Guster chirped, and trotted off toward the barracks, his usual cheerful gait undiminished. Good night, Bumble, Blackwood called after him, then turned to Quill, a wide, predatory grin spreading across his face. How about that, Quill? He was all set to run it again. The energy of that boy. Incredible. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a beautiful day for us, Captain, Quill agreed, rubbing his hands together. With a runner like that, I ain't settling for no steak dinner, huh? First thing in the morning, we start picking up all the bets we can get from everyone, even the laundry squad. We're going for a gold mine. Suddenly, Sprocket, who had been peering around nervously, pointed towards the bushes that fringed the track. Hey, look at that! Captain, some prize knuckleheads getting awful careless. Blackwood's triumphant smile vanished, replaced by a scowl. What is it, Sprocket? It's stillness, Captain, Sprocket whispered, his voice tense. Somebody was just out here watching, maybe clocking. Blackwood knelt, examining the ground. A faint, almost imperceptible scent hung in the air. Not just somebody. Can't you smell that? That's one of them crooked stem cigarettes that Hayes smokes, the expensive imported ones. Hayes, Quill exclaimed, alarm in his voice. Then he knows how fast Bumble is. The cat's out of the bag. Yeah. Blackwood stood up, his face grim. Well, still, what can he do about it now? All he knows is that he's beaten. No man can beat Bumble once he's set his mind to running. Not Hayes, Captain, Quill countered. He don't play square like we do. He'll try to come up with some crooked trick, a dirty move. Well, like what? Blackwood mused, pacing back and forth, trying to think like his rival. If I was Hayes, and I knew Bumble could win it, what would I do? He closed his eyes, visualizing Hayes's devious mind at work. Meanwhile, in the dimly lit barracks, Guster Bumble was meticulously laying out his running shorts, preparing for the biggest race of his life. The door creaked open, and Captain Hayes slipped in, moving with a surprising, almost cat-like stealth for such a burly man. "How are you, Private Bumble?" Hayes asked, his voice unexpectedly soft, devoid of its usual bluster. Guster looked up, startled. "Captain Hayes, are you looking for Captain Blackwood?" No, Bumble," Hayes began, his voice laced with a theatrical sigh. "I was going to go to the movies tonight, but, well, I wouldn't enjoy myself. My heart simply wouldn't allow it. It feels too heavy with sorrow." Guster frowned, puzzled by Hayes's uncharacteristic solemnity. "You wouldn't, Captain?" "No, I couldn't, Private," Hayes said, his voice deepening with artificial gravitas. "You'll understand when you're a captain, Bumble, when one of your men is about to suffer sorrow. There's no laughter in the world for you either. My soul is crushed for one of my proudest men." "One of your who, Captain?" Guster asked, his brow furrowed with genuine concern. "Charlie Yellowbear, Private," Hayes announced, letting the name hang in the air. "Sweet, trusting Charlie Yellowbear." "What's wrong with Charlie, Captain?" Guster asked, already feeling a pang of empathy for the unknown private. "Nothing now. But well, I hate to think what'll happen tomorrow. If somehow he should happen to lose that race, especially since he's running against you. You know." Hayes looked directly into Guster's innocent eyes. Guster blinked. "You mean that foot race? Why, Captain, that's just a little sporting contest. A little friendly competition. Nothing serious." "To you, perhaps, Private," Hayes said, his voice oozing with emotional manipulation, "but not to Charlie. Let me explain. You know that Yellow Bear has served out his full hit, and in a few more days, he'll be leaving the Marines. He will return to his people." Guster nodded, listening intently. "Then he goes back to the lodges of his fathers, deep in the pine forests of Jichugami," Hayes continued, embellishing his tale with dramatic flair, having Googled Native American folklore for inspiration. "But what a tragedy, Bumble. If the last memory this noble red man has of service for his great white father in Washington is that of failure and defeat, do you know what pride means to the noble red man, especially Yellow Bear, who wants so badly to be a legend in his tribe, to return to his village with stories of victory? But he's good. He's fast, Captain," Guster protested, remembering Yellow Bear's archery skills. "What makes you think he won't win? He's very talented." "He's fast, all right, Bumble," Hayes conceded with another theatrical sigh. "But let's face it, Private, you're faster, and you're strong. You have no weakness. You are a marvel to behold. But that means he will lose." Guster's kind heart was already bleeding for Charlie Yellowbear. The dilemma, so clearly laid out, filled him with an unexpected sense of moral obligation. "Well, Captain Hayes, are you trying to tell me that I should let him win?" Hayes, seeing the trap was sprung, gave a gentle, almost reverent shake of his head. "It's not for me to say, Private Bumble. It's for you to search your own heart and decide. But let me remind you that if you win, it's only a little sporting contest. Another notch in your already impressive belt of physical achievements. But if Yellow Bear wins, Private, you will have given dignity, pride, and meaning to his life at the moment he needs it most." As he reluctantly sets aside the uniform of his adopted country, think of his people, Gomer, looking up to him, inspired by his triumph. It's an opportunity that few of us have in our lifetime, Private, a rare opportunity. Hayes delivered this speech with such heartfelt conviction that even Guster, with all his innocence, had a moment of doubt. This felt different. This felt big. Blackwood, Quill, and Sprocket, having anticipated Hayes's move, were eavesdropping just outside the barracks door. "Vince, you don't think he tried to Shanghai Bumble, do you?" Quill whispered, aghast. "I don't know," Blackwood hissed, "but I do know he'll be trying something." "You think he might try to rough him up before the race?" Sprocket worried. "Just to be on the safe side, one of us better stay close to Bumble, ride him right up to race time tomorrow." Back inside, Hayes was laying it on thick. "It has been written that sometimes a man can truly win by losing. Private, do you understand the profound wisdom in that, Gomer? That's what my daddy always says, Captain, Guster said, his eyes wide. Anybody can be a good winner, but it takes a lot to be a good loser. That's a true measure of a man. A wise man. Your father, Bumba Hayes intoned, barely suppressing a triumphant smirk. Private, I'm only asking you to do what's right. Must this noble warrior go back to his tribe, smarting with defeat, to be scorned and laughed at? Must he sit by the ashes of the cooking fires with the squaws, to gnaw on bones and table scraps they tossed to him, his honor forever? Guster's face was a mask of horrified anguish. The thought of poor Charlie Yellowbear reduced to gnawing on bones with forever shamed was more than his compassionate heart could bear. No, Private, all by your good deed will he return with head held high, feathers in the wind, to lead a long, happy, useful life for many moons to come, until at long last he goes to the happy hunting ground. Hayes continued, his voice rising to a crescendo of dramatic pathos. And the legend of Charlie Yellowbear will be told with respect around the council fires for generations to come, all thanks to your selfless act of profound humanity. Think it over, son. I know it won't be easy, but I know you'll do the right thing. Hayes concluded, giving Guster a final, earnest gaze before quietly slipping out. Blackwood and his men, having heard the entire, excruciatingly manipulative speech, were furious. We better get in there and straighten Bumble out, Quill exclaimed, outraged. Wait a minute, Blackwood commanded, holding up a hand. It's not going to be that easy. If there's one thing I know, it's how Bumble's mind works. That stuff Hayes was handing him is just what Bumble eats up. A chance to help out a poor, deserving, unfortunate soul, to right a great cosmic injustice. His conscience would never let him live it down if he thought he was responsible for Yellowbear's tribal disgrace. Yeah, but we could explain the whole thing, Captain, Sprocket protested. Tell him about the bets. Explain what? Sprocket, Blackwood snapped. We want to clean up making bets on him. You know, Bumble and gambling. That's a line he won't cross. Blackwood smiled, a cold, calculating smile. He was going to turn Hayes's psychological warfare into a psychological Yeah, Quill asked, a hopeful, greedy spark in his eye. Yeah, Blackwood confirmed. Now, here's what you do first. Let the news leak out, through whispers and accidental conversations, that Bumble is terrific. Let him spread it around, just how fast he is, so some outsiders, the high rollers, can get in on the action and bet on Bumble. You got it. Yeah, and then, Quill prompted, catching on quickly. And then, Private, we switch, Blackwood declared, a triumphant gleam in his eye. We subtly change our tune. We let the whispers begin that Bumble's choking under pressure, that he's not feeling so good. We switch all our bets over to the Indian. I want all the bets we can get down by race time tomorrow. Put right smack on that noble red man. Charlie Yellowbear. Hayes wants to win honor. He'll lose his shirt winning honor. Blackwood's scheme was diabolical in its simplicity. Hayes would be so confident in his psychological victory over Guster that he'd double down on his own man, believing Guster would intentionally lose. But Blackwood and his men would then rake in the profits from Hayes's manipulated odds and the unwitting outside bettors, ensuring that, no matter who won the race, Blackwood would win the financial war. The sun beat down on the fort ironclad track the next afternoon, baking the dry earth. A crowd of soldiers had gathered, drawn by the irresistible allure of a good rivalry and a significant bet. Captain Blackwood and Captain Hayes stood side by side near the starting line, their faces carefully neutral. Yellowbear and Guster Bumble were already there, flexing their muscles. On your marks, get set, go. The starter's pistol cracked, echoing across the dusty field. Yellowbear and Guster burst forward, a blur of motion. Yellowbear, graceful and powerful, took an early lead, a picture of disciplined athleticism. Guster, however, with his deceptively powerful strides, quickly caught up, his long, gangly legs eating up the ground with surprising speed. And may the best man win, Blackwood, Hayes said, a triumphant smirk on his face, already convinced of his psychological victory. My thoughts exactly. Hayes, pure sportsman, sir, Blackwood replied, returning the smirk, while giving Quill a subtle nod. Keep an eye on him, Sprocket. Right, Captain, Sprocket shouted. Thanks, Quill said. Blackwood watched Guster with a mixture of dread and anticipation. Would Guster go through with it? Could Hayes's appeal to his profound sense of virtue really sway him to throw the race? You think Bumble's going to go through with it? Captain, Quill whispered nervously. I mean, throw it. That's not a nice way to put it. Quill, Blackwood chastised, affecting a tone of moral superiority. The first lap concluded. Yellow Bear, though fast, was now running neck and neck with Guster. Come on, Bumble. Let her rip. Sprocket cheered, though his bet was now squarely on Yellow Bear. How did he win? Sprocket. Bumble's in front of our yard. Captain, Quill exclaimed, genuinely confused. Captain, if you're just making it look good, don't worry, Blackwood muttered, still trying to project an image of confident defeat. Guster was indeed in front, running with a powerful, consistent rhythm. As they passed the halfway point, Guster had pulled ahead by a good 10 yards. Blackwood's heart began to pound with an unwanted surge of panic. Had Hayes's psychological ploy failed? Was Guster too focused to hear the silent pleas for Yellow Bear's honor? Bumble's still ahead. Captain, Quill yelled, his voice laced with desperation. He's still 10 yards in front. Blackwood clenched his jaw. I don't like it, Quill. I don't like it one bit. Remember, the only thing that counts is the finish. And believe me, poor little Yellow Bear will get the blue ribbon, and I'll get the bundle of Hayes's money. He tried to reassure himself. Well, Bumble better start fading fast. They're on their way back. Around the final bend they came, straining for the finish line. Guster was still in the lead, pumping his arms, his face a picture of innocent determination. Yellow Bear, though giving it his all, simply couldn't match Guster's raw, untamed speed. Here they come, Sprocket yelled. Bumble's still out in front. Come on, give it to them, Charlie, Hayes roared, abandoning his composure, yelling for his runner. Come on, you Yellow Bear. Come on, move it, Yellow Bear. Come on, move, 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 Yellow Bear. You can do it. Just as Guster was about to cross the finish line, a thought, powerful and overwhelming, struck him. Charlie Yellow Bear, disgraced, gnawing on bones, stripped of his tribal pride. The image, so vividly planted by Captain Hayes, flooded his mind. He couldn't do it. He wouldn't cause such misery. With the finish line mere feet away, Guster did the unthinkable. He deliberately, subtly, eased up. He shifted his weight, slowing his stride, allowing Yellow Bear, who was running with every ounce of his remaining strength, to pull abreast. Then, with an almost imperceptible flick of his head, Guster gestured for Yellow Bear to go on, holding back just enough for Yellow Bear to surge ahead and cross the finish line first, winning by a nose. The crowd erupted, some cheering for Yellow Bear, others groaning in disbelief at Guster's inexplicable fade. Hayes leaped into the air, punching his fist in triumph. Blackwood stared, his mouth agape. Hey, what's the idea, Hayes? Blackwood bellowed, momentarily forgetting his own elaborate scheme. You're yelling for my guy. Hayes, flushed with victory, ignored Blackwood. Well, if you must know. Wise guy, Hayes gloated, strutting over to Blackwood. I'm onto that story you gave Private Bumble. Not only did it affect him, but it made me puddle up, too. So I put a bundle of my own money on Yellow Bear. Blackwood blinked, the irony hitting him like a thunderclap. Hayes had not only won the bet with Guster's noble gesture, but had also placed his own money on Yellow Bear, using the very psychological tactic Blackwood had developed to win his money. Hayes, it seemed, had outconned the... Blackwood realized, with a sickening lurch, that he was utterly, completely ruined. Thanks a lot, old buddy. Hayes slapped Blackwood heartily on the back, oblivious to Blackwood's internal meltdown. You're gonna make me a rich man. Of course, you're gonna win a steak dinner, but I'm gonna clean up on a bunch of outside bets. And who else might he tell? I wonder. Hayes turned, rubbing his hands together. Hey, here's the finish. Private Bumble, you did it. Boy. Guster, walking calmly across the finish line after Yellow Bear, approached Blackwood, a contented smile on his face. Got to ring the bell for you, like you said. Captain, he extended his hand to Blackwood. Look at the captain. You're so happy you can't even talk. And, Captain Hayes, Guster said, turning to Hayes, about what you said. Well, you don't have to worry any more about Charlie Yellow Bear. Hayes, still basking in his victory, raised an eyebrow. And why is that private? Guster beamed. I had a talk with him right before we had the race, Captain Hayes, and I told him now that he had a fine captain like you worrying about all his problems, and how he needed to provide for his tribe, that he ought to stay in the Marines, for the honor. So guess what, Captain? Gusta practically crowed with delight. He's gonna Hayes's triumphant smile faltered, then slowly, agonizingly, drained from his face. He had just won a race, secured a massive bet, all based on the premise that Yellow Bear would return to his tribe, his honor restored. Now, his ringer was staying. That meant no more bets, no more psychological warfare, just an extra private in his platoon for another 2 years. His elaborate victory felt utterly hollow. Well, one more thing, Captain Hayes, Gusta continued, completely oblivious. Charlie and I are going to start practicing running together, and he's going to teach me how to shoot the bow and arrow, and we're going to get to be real good friends. Yes, sir, real good friends, just like you and Captain Blackwood. He gestured expansively between the two stunned captains, their faces now a mirror image of abject horror. Come on, Charlie, let's get on the boat. Charlie, Hayes choked out, dragging a bewildered Yellow Bear away, his triumphant grin now a frozen mask of despair. The realization of his double-cross, and its ultimate ironic consequence, had dawned on him with crushing force. The steak dinner was a pittance compared to the profound, unexpected defeat of having his plans backfire so completely. Blackwood, for his part, could only stare into the distance, his financial ruin now complete. Captain Corvus Blackwood endured a nightmare of paperwork in the days that followed. Not only had he lost a substantial amount of money betting on Gusta, but he had lost his honor to Hayes yet again, and his own ingenious plan to outscheme his rival had backfired spectacularly, costing him even more. It'll be 6 months before I can pay off all the dough I lost in that race. Quill, Blackwood groaned, slumped over his desk, head in his hands. Who can eat? Quill, Blackwood countered, shuddering. Sergeant Prisky came by twice this morning looking for that 50 he loaned me. He's got eyes like a shark, that one. Come on, Captain, Quill urged, seeing Blackwood's despair. Hold that private bumble. You'll never get a chance to cross me again. Suddenly, a shadow fell across Blackwood's office. He looked up, his blood running cold. Approaching his door, a grim look on his face, was Sergeant Prisky, flanked by 2 burly privates, their expressions radiating an unsettling resolve. Hey, some guys are following us, Quill whispered, looking out the window. One of them looks like Prisky. Come on, Blackwood whispered fiercely, scrambling from his desk. Here, this ought to do it. He yanked open a large, steel locker usually reserved for cleaning supplies and equipment. We'll wait here. He shoved Quill inside, then quickly squeezed in himself, pulling the door shut with a muffled clang, leaving them in the suffocating darkness, surrounded by the acrid scent of ammonia and bleach. Blackwood held his breath, willing himself to become one with the grime-covered steel. Just then, another familiar voice, irritatingly cheerful, cut through the tense silence. Nah, like the shadows of the night, Prisky. That's 10 years of camouflage. Right, Captain. Blackwood stiffened. That voice. Gusta, of course. The locker door suddenly sprang open with a violent shudder, revealing the blinding fluorescent lights of Blackwood's office. Gusta Bumble stood there, a triumphant grin on his face, beside a bewildered Sergeant Prisky and his 2 Oh, hi Prisky, Gusta chirped, completely unfazed by Blackwood's sudden reappearance from the locker. It worked just swell. He presented Blackwood as if he were a long-lost package. How about that, Captain? Gusta beamed, oblivious to Blackwood's humiliation. How about that? Blackwood, emerging from the locker, covered in dust and defeat, could only stare, speechless. Days later, Captain Corvus Blackwood woke with a distinct sense of unease, not the usual military anxiety, but a physical one. His head throbbed, his skin felt clammy, and a persistent shiver ran down his spine despite the warmth of the barrack. How about it, Captain? Corporal Quill asked, poking his head into Blackwood's quarters. You ready for drill? Blackwood winced. Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute, Quill. He swung his legs out of bed, feeling remarkably unsteady. Crazy. Or is it hot in here? Quill touched Blackwood's forehead. I don't think so, Captain. Your forehead feels fine. Well, you're not coming down with anything, are you, Vince? Quill asked, a hint of concern in his voice. I don't know, Blackwood mumbled, rubbing his temples. Oh, boy. Quill saw the writing on the wall. You okay, Cap? Yeah, I'm okay, Blackwood rasped, pulling on his boots. The first platoon was assembled in formation outside, ready for drill. Blackwood struggled to find his commanding voice, which felt mysteriously hoarse. His orders sounded more like a pained croak than a powerful command. All right, listen up, Blackwood managed, regaining a fraction of his usual authority. Here's the way the rest of the day shaves up. Guster Bumble, ever observant, leaned forward from the formation, his blue eyes fixed on Blackwood's flushed face. You feeling bad, Captain? Huh, I'm right, ain't I? He tilted his head. I can tell you, being as flushed as you are, it's a sure sign of fever. My Aunt Mildred gets that flushed right before she takes one of her napping spells. Knock it off, Bumble, Blackwood snapped, his head pounding. When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it, and your Aunt Mildred's napping habits are of no military consequence. All right, Captain. Sorry. Guster immediately retracted, snapping back to attention. All right, Blackwood asked, closing his eyes, anticipating another unsolicited observation. That's the way you tell about fever, by the ears, not the forehead, like most you see. I'll knock it off, Bumble, Blackwood thundered, finally losing his patience. You're in formation. You don't move a muscle. Not one single muscle. Do you understand me, Private? Guster replied, ramrod straight. Quill, standing beside Guster, whispered, She does look fresh, though, don't you, Gomer? Do you know what Grandma Bumble used to do for a fever? Well, I told you to pipe down. You're inattention. I'm sorry, Captain. Guster apologized immediately. I was just telling Corporal Quill what Grandma Bumble used to do for a fever. She'd take a clove of garlic and 2 licks of sage oil. You don't move a muscle. Not one single muscle. You hear me? Right, Captain. Blackwood sighed, trying to regain his train of thought. Oh, yeah. Blackwood sputtered, his voice cracking. Quill, just look at his mouth. Swollen it is. Quill, seeing Blackwood's rapidly deteriorating state, took a bold decision. You don't look good. Blackwood hesitated, then, feeling an undeniable wave of weakness wash over him, reluctantly conceded. Well-meaning observation was almost enough to outweigh his usual aversion to the mending ward. It's for the best, Captain Guster said, ever helpful, as Blackwood slowly made his way towards the sick bay. It really is. Bumble, Blackwood growled, his voice a barely coherent whisper of raw fury. As Blackwood shuffled off, the words of Guster Bumble floated after him, an echoing promise of inevitable, exasperating doom. I hope there ain't nothing serious, Captain. Don't worry about it, Gomer. But he does look bad. Quill, he looks just like my Aunt Serena did the day she went down to have her ear lanced. Swollen up something awful. It did. Blackwood's last coherent thought was a desperate prayer that the mending ward would provide a sanctuary from Guster. 3 agonizing days crawled by. Mottled, rash of German measles, found himself in a state of unexpected, profound bliss. Was a heavenly reprieve from the constant, cheerful gin of Guster Bumble. He felt weak, sure, and miserable, but the peace was worth every ache. Not again, Bumble. I know you're busy trying to catch up on your reports and everything, but I was just wondering how Sergeant Carter is making out, right? Well, golly, it's been 3 days. Quill's face morphed into an expression of intense weariness. That's right, Gomer. Like I said yesterday and the day before, he's doing fine, just fine. Now, get out of here. I sure am glad to hear that, Corporal. Guster beamed, completely oblivious to Quill's mounting frustration. As a matter of fact, he's due out of the mending ward tomorrow morning, isn't he? Yeah, not a minute too soon as far as I'm concerned, Bumble. Good, Guster said, oblivious to Quill's underlying panic. He finished with a wistful sigh. Get back to work on the floors, Bumble, Quill growled, desperate. I got a lot of work to do catching up. The captain has more paperwork than a library has books. Right, Corporal. I'm begging your pardon, but do you feel all right, Corporal? Yeah, I'm fine, Gomer, Quill mumbled, rubbing his eyes. Just a little beat, maybe. The past few days have been intense. I guess that's it, Guster observed sagely. The reason you look so flushed. Not feverish, mind you, just flushed. Yeah. Quill was losing the will to fight. They always go bright red right before Aunt Mildred has one of her sneezing fits. No, just get out of here, Bumble. Guster, undeterred, brimming with joyous news for the already wary soldiers. And Captain Blackwood's all better. And he's going to get out of the mending ward first thing in the morning. A collective groan echoed through the barracks. Guster admonished them, his face serious. Especially a man like Captain Blackwood. He's always taking care of us. It's just that I don't feel so red-hot myself. I haven't been feeling too well either, Hodge added, looking pale. My head feels kind of funny. I'm warm all over. Hey, Bumble, I don't see anything. I didn't think he caught it. Suddenly, Quill's nose began to twitch. Strode into the barracks, his uniform perfectly pressed, a hint of his old fire returning. He had walked in just in time to hear Quill's sneezing fit. Blackwood barked, trying to reassert his authority, though a residual pallor still clung to his face. The platoon, however, remained motionless. Hodge looked miserable. Sprocket clutched his head. Quill continued to sneeze. Their faces, uniformly, were flushed. "You're looking awful good," Captain Gaister chirped. "Still feeling perfectly fine, considering a little peaky around the face, maybe. You still look a bit under the weather." Blackwood's eyes, still trying to adjust to the bright barrack lights after 3 days in the dim mending ward, finally focused on his platoon, and then on Guster. "Bumble, where's everybody?" Blackwood demanded, a sudden, cold dread forming in his stomach. "A man like you, laid up and sick. Why, his juices just play heck with the appetite. It's normal, Cap." "Bumble, where is everybody?" Blackwood repeated, his voice rising, sensing something was terribly wrong. "What's going on?" "Oh, that's right," Captain Guster said, suddenly realizing Blackwood hadn't been privy to the latest developments. "I guess you don't know what happened in your absence. So much has changed." "Don't know what, Bumbo?" Blackwood screamed, his voice strained. "Everybody's down with the German measles," Captain Guster announced cheerfully, as if describing a pleasant surprise. Blackwood stared. A slow, terrifying realization dawned on him. So that's what the excitement was all about. They must have been checking in when I was checking out. A simultaneous mass infection. "He is a shame," Captain Guster lamented, his tone genuinely sympathetic. "A whole platoon coming down with the German measles. They say that somebody carried it right into the platoon. And everybody caught it from this carrier. Just spread like wildfire through the entire base." Blackwood's blood ran cold. "Carrier? Then how come you're not sick, Bumble?" He stared at Guster, who, impossibly, stood there, a picture of perfect health. "Me?" Guster asked, surprised. "Oh, I never catch nothing, Captain. Not ever. My immunity is like a steel shield. Never been sick a day in my life." And now, he had an entire platoon in sick bay. All infected. All his fault. "And you're the only one here," Blackwood whispered, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and despair. "That's right, Captain," Guster confirmed, his smile unwavering. "Looks like for the next few days, it's just you and me, Captain. Just you and me, working side by side, like true buddies." He had infected his entire platoon, likely through his constant, well-meaning contact and endless chatter, and had unwittingly served as the perfect, unsickly vector. And now, Blackwood, having just escaped the mending ward, was condemned to a forced solitude with the very person whose relentless presence had driven him there in the first place. The irony was a cruel, poetic form of torture. "Attention," Blackwood barked, trying to regain some semblance of control over his spiraling sanity. "We got a lot to do today, so I want you to—" "It's just you and me, Bumble," Blackwood corrected himself, his shoulders slumping in utter defeat. "There's no use in me reading off the program for the day. You're the only audience." "But I'll be glad to listen," Captain Guster offered, always accommodating. "If it'll make you feel any better, I don't mind. Not one bit." "Forget it," Blackwood mumbled, collapsing into his chair. "At ease, Bumble. At ease." He leaned back, closing his eyes, picturing a desolate future, filled with nothing but Guster Bumble. The quiet of Captain Corvus Blackwood's office was a temporary, fleeting thing. His German measles might have passed, but a fresh, terrifying epidemic of Guster Bumble now plagued his every waking moment. The phone on Blackwood's desk rang. jolting him from his feverish reverie of administrative tasks. First platoon, Captain Blackwood here. Blackwood said, his voice clipped and efficient, trying to project an air of calm capability despite the chaos around him. Just as he hung up, Guster Bumble appeared in the doorway, bearing another stack of forms, a look of profound diligence on his face. Excuse me, Captain, for leaving formation, but Nurse Finch over at the mending ward gave me these inventory report blanks. She wants them filled out and returned to him by tomorrow noon. Sharp. Seems they are low on band. Blackwood's eye. Inventory report blanks. The bane of his existence. He stared at the forms, then at Guster, then at the forms again. His head felt like it was about to explode. Oh, for the love of... I'll do it, Guster blurted out, misinterpreting Blackwood's frustrated sigh as a call to action. Blackwood blinked. Huh? Do what? Fill out these forms, Captain, Guster said eagerly. Be glad to. All you have to do is to tell me how much of each thing we have in the supply room. I'm real good at numbers. Never mind. Blackwood mumbled, massaging his temples. Where's Hot? He's usually pretty good with his paperwork. Well, he's in the mending ward, Captain, with all the others, Guster reminded him cheerfully. Don't you remember? I'll get it, Blackwood muttered, waving a hand vaguely towards his phone. He sank back into his chair, overwhelmed. Big deal. The phone rang again. Blackwood, still reeling, instinctively reached for it, but Guster was faster. First platoon, Private Guster Bumble speaking for Captain Blackwood. Guster announced into the receiver, his voice clear and earnest. Yes, ma'am, I sure will. Thank you for calling. Bye. He hung up, a satisfied smile on his face. That was Nurse Finch over in the mending ward, Captain Castrua explained. She's missing some of Corporal Quill's personal records. Third drawer, right in the front, she said. Right, Captain. Oh, and the Colonel also called back, and he wants those reports sooner than soon. Right, Captain. I'll take it over there myself if it's okay, Guster offered, clutching the misplaced file with immense seriousness. I'll be glad to, Captain. I'd be more than happy to, more than honored to. Take him over, Blackwood pleaded, gesturing wildly at the door. Take him over. Just go. Right. Captain? It's a pleasure, Guster beamed. Anything I can ever do to help you out. It's always a pleasure, especially now that you're so hard-pressed. And Captain? Blackwood pinched the bridge of his nose. I just want you to know how thrilled I am to be working so close to you, Guster declared, his eyes shining with admiration. Yeah, I've learned a lot from you already, but not hype as much as I'm going to learn for the rest of this week. What with you and me, and being alone together, like we are. It's like a private training course, just for me. Okay, Bumble. Okay, I get the message, Blackwood managed, his voice strained. Now get going, huh? I got some work to do, and make sure those records get there intact. Right, Captain, Guster chirped. And don't you worry, Captain. I'll be back to help you out before you know it. From now on, it's just you and me, side to side. We're a team, huh, Captain? A genuine dream team. He gave a thumbs up, turned, and disappeared. Go, Blackwood roared, the moment the door closed behind him. He then buried his face in his hands, silently praying for the return of his entire sick platoon. Even with all their minor infractions and bumbling, their combined presence was infinitely preferable to Guster's singular. The Chow muster hall was eerily quiet, save for the clinking of Captain Corvus Blackwood's fork against his plate and the persistent, meticulous chewing sounds from across the table. With the entire platoon in the mending ward, it was just Blackwood and Guster Bumble at the sprawling, empty mess hall. Blackwood stared at his plate, trying to eat, but the atmosphere was thick with Guster's unwavering, unnerving attention. Captain, can I borrow the ketchup? Guster asked, holding out his hand. Blackwood, lost in his thoughts, looked up blankly. Well, are you going to return it, Bumble? Or is it your own private stock now? The ketchup! The ketchup! Captain, Guster prompted, pointing at the bottle in the middle of the table. Oh, I'm sorry, Blackwood mumbled, pushing the bottle towards him. Here you are. Since there's just the two of us, do you mind if I join you? Guster asked, already pulling his chair closer. That way it'll save all that hollering and icing and everything. I suppose, Blackwood sighed, utterly defeated. Guster settled into the seat beside him, his presence immediately magnifying the oppressive solitude. "What are you doing now, Bumble?" Blackwood asked, observing Guster's intense focus on him. "I was just counting. Captain, how many times do you chew your food?" Guster replied. His voice mapped. Blackwood stopped mid-chew. "I don't know, Bumble. I don't count. I just eat. My stomach knows what it's doing." "Grandma Bumble says you should chew each mouthful of food 12 times before you swallow it," Guster declared, imparting a profound family wisdom. "Anything less than 12 chews is bad for your digestive tract. You know that, Captain? Why, it just sits there, all lumpy, and makes your stomach grumble, like a sleeping bear in the winter." Blackwood suppressed a groan. "Bumble, a human being ain't like a dog. A dog don't chew at all. He just swallows his food whole and lets his stomach do all the work." He forced himself to continue eating, trying to ignore Guster's unnerving presence. "I remember once I had this old bird dog, and he caught this wild turkey and just tried to swallow it whole and nearly choked his entire—" "Bumble, just eat your chow. Huh, just eat your chow and knock it off. Okay," Blackwood interjected, his voice frayed. "Oh, I am. Captain, I am," Guster assured him, his fork still hovering over his plate. "I just like to take my time and enjoy it. You know, it sure seems strange. It's just the two of us at this big old table, like eating alone in a cathedral." Blackwood swallowed hard. "Yeah, Captain, you just chewed that 4 times, Guster observed, his eyes gleaming with triumphant, scientific accuracy. "Bumble," Blackwood roared, slamming his fork down. "Grandma Bumble was right. If you don't chew it 12 times, you left. How you left? Don't you know you left me utterly bereft?" He didn't even know what he was saying anymore. "I'm sorry," Captain Guster said, bewildered, "but you said I didn't got anybody to preach in front of me. Why?" "Help me! Private!" "How you left me so completely alone." "I'm as good as he is," Guster mumbled, still trying to grasp the situation. "Left? How you left?" Days passed. The first platoon remained in the mending ward, leaving Captain Corvus Blackwood to his prolonged, unique torture. Life with Guster Bumble as his sole companion. And, worse, his self-appointed assistant. Guster was ever present, ever cheerful, and ever utterly unhelpful, exacerbating every task Blackwood undertook with his relentless presence and endless observations. One particularly grueling morning, Blackwood attempted to perform a locker inspection, usually a crisp, solitary affair. "Well, tell him I'm ready for inspection, sir," Guster announced cheerfully, standing ramrod straight beside a perfectly organized, though impossibly spotless, locker. Blackwood merely grunted. "I don't know why I'm even bothering. Bumble, there are no other men. It is not an inspection." "But, Captain, you gotta turn in a report to the lieutenant," Guster reminded him earnestly. "Rules is rules, ain't they?" All right, it's okay, Bumble," Blackwood sighed, trying to keep his voice even. "All right, it's a good locker. Perfect. Dismissed." "Sergeant, the locker," Guster exclaimed, pointing to a tiny, almost invisible smudge. "It's okay, Bumble, as you were," Blackwood muttered, waving him away. "Captain, is that all?" Guster asked, surprised by the brevity of the process. "Yes, Bumble, that's all. There was no one else here, remember?" Blackwood said, his voice laced with a strain of perpetual exasperation. "But it sure went awful fast," Guster lamented, disappointed by the quick end to the official activity. "Well, there wasn't much to do, Bumble." "Captain?" Guster asked again, a new spark of innocent mischief in his eyes. "Ha!" Blackwood turned, dreading what fresh horror awaited him. "Let's do it again," Guster announced brightly. "What? Can we do the inspection again, Captain? Just to kill some time?" Blackwood simply stared, his mouth opening and closing soundlessly. The phrase, "killing time," took on a terrifyingly literal meaning. He imagined slamming his head repeatedly against the locker door. That afternoon, Quill, still pale and recovering, managed to shuffle over from the mending ward to Blackwood's office, eager to check on his captain. He found Blackwood, slumped over his desk, looking a full 10 years older. Hey! Hi, Vince," Quill whispered, his voice weak. "How you doing, Chuck? You feeling okay?" Blackwood merely groaned. "Oh, not bad. Quill, say, how are you getting along with your one-man platoon? Enjoying your personal private Bumble?" who follows your every move and never, ever, ever shuts up. Quill, still feeling the lingering effects of the measles, recoiled slightly. Don't ask, Vince. My sanity is barely intact. Not bad, huh? Do you know what life is like with Bumble? Do you have any idea? The relentless positivity, the constant chatter, the never-ending help. Blackwood's head lifted slowly. His eyes, though bloodshot, held a terrifying intensity. It's worse than a horror movie, Quill. Every move I make there, sticking to me like a bee sticks to a plate of honey, and he never shuts up. Never for a second, not even when I threaten him with latrine duty until he's 90. Now, why can't he be in there with the rest of you guys? Quill sighed. I don't know, Captain. I guess he's immune. Looks like he's just a carrier, and he never gets it himself. Blackwood's eyes, suddenly alight with a mad, desperate gleam, widened. Maybe he just wasn't exposed long enough. Quill, maybe it was just a fluke, a scientific anomaly. Quill frowned. Yeah, that's it. Vince, a fluke. He paused, sensing Blackwood's dangerous thought process. Huh. I was just thinking, Bumble can't have that much immune. I mean, with a bug like that going around, nobody's immune should be that much better than anybody else's, right? Well, Vince, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, Quill began, a look of horror spreading across his face. Do you blame me, Quill? Huh? Do you blame me after the hell I've been through? Blackwood's voice was a ragged whisper, a desperate plea for understanding. What? Purposely exposing a guy to a case of the measles? Quill gasped, stepping back. Come on, Vince. That's monstrous. Who said anything like that? Quill. Blackwood snapped, his eyes flashing. I was just thinking he's bound to catch it sooner or later. So why not now? Huh? Why not now? And get it over with. The logical, sensible, humane solution for the greater good. Mothers do it all the time, Quill. Blackwood explained, his voice taking on a chillingly rational tone. When one kid gets it, she exposes all the kids to it. That way, she doesn't have to go through all that trouble one kid at a time. A controlled epidemic, you see. Quill stared at Blackwood, a new respect dawning in his eyes. Vince, you're as warm and human as they come. Truly, a compassionate leader. Yeah, you might say that, Quilled, Blackwood said, his voice flat. I mean, if Bumble has got to catch some measles, no use. He should suffer alone. Don't you think so? Wouldn't that be the fair thing to do? A shared experience? That evening, Captain Corvus Blackwood concocted his most audacious plan yet. A desperate, final gambit to reclaim his solitude. He summoned Guster Bumble to his office, his face, a mask of weary kindness, his true intentions carefully hidden beneath layers of carefully modulated rhetoric. Captain, you wanted to see me? Guster asked, always eager to please. Yes, I did, Private Bumber, Blackwood replied, making sure his voice conveyed just the right amount of paternal warmth. Can I ask you something, Bumble? What is it, Captain? Well, I was just thinking, Blackwood began, leaning forward conspiratorially. If I had your permission to move in here with you, then I'd save you all that running back and forth to the barracks every time you wanted me. Efficiency, you see, for our dream team. Huh. Guster looked confused for a moment. Then his face brightened. Oh, Cap, like in the Chow Mooster Hall when I sat down next to you. I was right there to pass you anything you wanted. The salt, the pepper, the ketchup. Well, Blackwood stammered, caught off guard by Guster's literal interpretation. Guster pressed, ever logical. It'd be a lot more efficient now that Corporal Quill's bed's in the mending ward. His bed is free. Blackwood's internal monologue was screaming. He forced himself to nod, to smile, to appear, a Quill's bed. That might be a good idea. Indeed, an excellent idea. Oh, thank you, Captain. Thank you. Thank you. Guster practically leaped with joy, oblivious to the nefarious plotting behind the facade. I just knew you got the idea. No, I think it's just great. It's an honor, Captain. Captain, you missed your bed over here. Guster pointed to Blackwood's meticulously made bed in the corner of his private quarters. Yes, that's my bed. Now, don't you sleep with your head facing towards the window? Guster asked, having somehow gleaned this intimate detail about Blackwood's sleeping habits. Oh, yes, I do, Blackwood confirmed, bewildered by Guster's encyclopedic knowledge of his personal life. Then we'll have to switch the beds around. Guster declared, already planning the rear. Ah, you see, I sleep with my head facing exactly the other way, so if we switch the beds around, our heads will be facing each other, and that way we can talk without turning over. Why? We can chat all night. Captain, what a cozy arrangement. Blackwood's mouth hung open. The horrifying reality of enforced nocturnal conversations with Guster Bumble, his head mere inches from Guster's, paralyzed him. This was a nightmare of epic proportions. We're gonna be roommates. Captain, I can't believe it, Guster chirped, ecstatic. Blackwood managed to regain some semblance of control. Look, Bumble, on your way over to get your gear, do me a favor, will ya? Corporal Quill wants me to send over this old book. He asked for it to take his mind off his misery. Run it over for me, will ya? He picked up a thick, dusty tome on military regulations, one that would guarantee maximum exposure. I'll be glad to, Captain, Guster replied. Ever helpful. That's what I'm here for, to serve, and to assist in the name of our great cause. And, Bumble, look, Blackwood continued, ramping up the exposure element. That'll give you a chance to pay your respects to Sprocket and Hodge and all the gang. Huh, give them your best wishes. Lift their spirits. Yes, sir. That's real thoughtful of you. Captain, Guster beamed. I'm sure they miss me and my cheerful disposition. Poor sick fa. Yeah, just slip over and hand the book to Quill personally. Will ya, Bumble? Blackwood pressed, ensuring physical contact. Remember how you just walked in on me the other day with my measles? Well, do the same thing. Don't worry about quarantine rules. It's just friendly well wishes. He gave Guster a sly, knowing look, implying that he was bestowing a special, conspiratorial dispensation. And give Quill my best wishes. In fact, shake hands with him. Shake his hand firmly. In fact, shake hands with the whole. That's a great morale builder. A true mark of solidarity. Private. Captain Blackwood, you just think of everything, don't you? Guster asked, his eyes wide with admiration. I try, Bumble. I try. Blackwood replied, a chilling smile playing on his lips. He was sure of it now. This plan had to work. It was foolproof. A short while later, Guster Bumble, book in hand, slipped into the isolation ward of the mending ward, utterly disregarding the bright red quarantine sign on the door. He spotted Quill in his bed, looking even paler than before, surrounded by other coughing, sneezing privates. Cooper boy, Guster announced cheerfully. Kuma, hey dude, hey Quill looked up, his eyes widening in alarm. Bumble, how did you get in here anyway? Get out of here. Private. Now. Well, Guster explained, entirely oblivious. I waited till a nurse left the desk out there. On account of Captain Blackwood wanting me to give you this book personally and give you his best wishes. You see, he knows it's the personal touch that makes a difference, and he trusts me completely. Look, Bumble, you shouldn't have come in here, Quill pleaded, trying to wave him away. Yeah, go on. You'll get in trouble. This is an isolation ward. Oh, don't worry about me, Duke. Guster reassured him. I never catch nothing. You know that. He leaned closer, pressing the book into Quill's hands. Well, here's your book, and best wishes from Captain Blackwood. Guster then embarked on a relentless circuit of the ward, shaking hands with every feverish measles-ridden private, transmitting Captain Blackwood's best wishes, and, more effectively, the German measles virus, to each and every one. His imperviousness, coupled with his absolute obedience to Blackwood's bizarre directive, turned him into the ultimate super. Eventually, Guster returned to Blackwood's office, glowing with a sense of duty fulfilled. Well, Private Bumble, Blackwood greeted him, trying to appear nonchalant. You did it, you little well-meaning maniac. Did you deliver the book? I sure did, Captain. I sure did, Guster beamed. And you gave it to Quill personally, huh? Blackwood prompted, hiding his barely concealed glee. Just like you said. And did you shake hands with him and give him my best wishes? Blackwood pressed, rubbing his hands together. I sure did, Captain, Guster confirmed. And then after you visited with Quill, did you have a nice bedside visit with all the boys? Did you shake their hands, too? Well, now I'm shaking hands with everybody, Captain, Guster chirped, oblivious to the dark implications of his statement. And I even gave a pat on the back to Corporal Hodge, who had the prettiest spots I've ever seen, all purple and pink, just like a sunset in Harmony Creek. Oh, wonderful. Blackwood practically sang. Well, Bumble seemed very nervous about it, though. He tried to mask his relief with faint concern. He did. He said that the doctor told him there wasn't no such thing as being immune to German measles. For anybody as healthy as I am, it just takes a long time for it to pop out in some folks. Especially really, really robust folks like me. Takes time. You see, Blackwood's triumphant grin froze. The blood drained from his face. No kidding. That meant his immune system, battered by the first round of measles, was now susceptible again. And Guster, the carrier, was right here, perpetually at his side. All it takes is just one little germ passed from one person to another. Just one little germ is all it takes, Blackwood repeated, his voice a strained whisper, recalling Guster's medical assessment. Is that so? Just one little germ, huh? My goodness. What a profound observation. Golly, who knew that? Guster, noticing Blackwood's sudden distress, looked puzzled. You know, I just can't believe we're going to be roommates, Captain. This is going to be so much fun. Pinch me, Captain, just to make sure I ain't dreaming. Pinch me hard. Later, Bumble. Later, Blackwood managed, staring into the middle distance, his world crashing down around him. Just tell me, how many fellas you think you shook hands with? Exactly how many of my beloved privates, now afflicted with this horrid plague, did you touch, you magnificent germ spreader? The mending ward, now bursting at the seams with the entire 1st platoon, resembled a war zone. Fevers raged, coughs echoed, and the distinctive rash of German measles painted a crimson landscape across dozens of torsos. Corporal Quill, now firmly in bed, was horrified by Blackwood's ill-fated scheme. "Hi, Vince," Quill rasped, barely able to lift his head from the pillow, as Blackwood paced the narrow confines of the visiting area, separated by glass. "Can you believe it? Can you believe it, Vince? Never in a million years did I think you would get sick again so quickly." Blackwood, looking even more haggard than his convalescing men, sagged against the wall. "You just don't get relapse as quick as that, Quill. It's like I have 2 cases of measles back to back. My immune system has left me." "I guess you gotta be philosophical, Vince," Quill coughed, weakly. "Like you said, it's a vacation away from knuckleheads like Private Bumble." Blackwood simply groaned. "Yeah, but 2 vacations in 1 week. Quill, that's not a vacation. That's a siege. Better than no vacation from Bumble at all. Right, Vince?" Quill offered, trying to be optimistic. Blackwood ran a hand over his face. Yeah, I guess you're right. If it's the only way I can keep him off my back, okay. I just hope I don't catch anything else. "Yeah, it's okay by me too, Vince," Quill croaked, his voice muffled by a sneeze. "Yeah, I'm right back where I started, stuck in this horrible place again." A nurse, a kind but firm woman, approached Blackwood, holding a clipboard. "Yes, sir, Captain. I like it here, fine. Captain, just fine." Blackwood frowned, confused by her sudden comment. "This way, please. Captain, the doctor needs to see you for a quick checkup, before you're admitted back to your ward." Admitted, Blackwood's eyes widened in horror. "Pyle." From a bed near the back, a cheerful voice chirped. "Hey, Captain Blackwood. Captain Blackwood, how are you, buddy?" Blackwood stumbled forward, his face a mask of disbelief. "Bumble, what are you doing here? Bumble, you're supposed to be impervious. You're supposed to be in your element, running free, causing havoc among the unwary. You're supposed to be immune." "I got German measles, Captain," Guster announced proudly, as if it were a medal. "But now that I know we're going to be roommates, I feel a whole lot better. It's just like I predicted. Captain, we're a dream team." Blackwood's head fell back against the wall with a resounding thud. The world swam around him. "But where are you going now, Captain?" Guster continued, completely oblivious. 3 or 4 days of your captain's undivided companionship. Ain't that so, Captain? I'm doing how much fun we're gonna have. The time's just gonna pass faster than a rabbit in a cornfield. "I'm no Pyle, James." Quill groaned from his bed, recognizing the onset of Guster's relentless chatter. "We can play Pyle. No, it's a wonderful time." Just then, a door burst open, and a perfectly healthy-looking Blackwood stormed in, his eyes blazing. Not this Blackwood, but the original Blackwood, the one who had checked himself out hours ago and had been desperately trying to avoid a second infection. He spotted Guster, and then his look-alike, the real captain, standing in the aisle, looking like death warmed over. Hey, you're back, Guster exclaimed to the sickly Blackwood. Yeah, you're all over it already, Guster asked, surprised by the speed of his recovery. Yeah, the sick Blackwood muttered, still dizzy. It was just a relapse. He pointed to the healthy Blackwood. My body's playing tricks on me. What about Pyle? The healthy Blackwood demanded, his voice clipped. Well, with Pyle, there was no relapse, Captain, Quill explained, amused by the double captain conundrum. He's got the real thing for the first time, so it'll be a little while longer for him. The healthy Blackwood, the one who had checked himself out and had narrowly avoided a second infection, let out a sigh of profound relief. Hey, you may get that vacation away from him after all. Vince, he called to his sick doppelganger. I will now. I'm here. He's in the hospital, and all's right with the world. Captain, I escaped. He actually smiled. Suddenly, Guster Bumbo's head poked out from behind his sickbed. Surprise! 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 Captain! The healthy Blackwood, his relief evaporating into pure terror, stumbled backward. Bumbo, what are you doing here, Bumbo? You're supposed to be in the hospital. That's the surprise. Captain, Guster chirped, beaming. The doctor examined me right after he examined you, and he said I could go back to duty just as soon as I wanted to. He said it was just a light case, said my immune system was really something special, and I threw it off like a burr on a squirrel's tail. The healthy Blackwood simply stared, his mouth agape, his perfect escape, his hard-won solitude, his clever strategy, all, once again, utterly nullified by the unrelenting, well-meaning, and infuriating presence of Private Guster Bumble. He did, huh? The doctor said that. The healthy Blackwood choked out, the words barely a whisper. He said, it was just a light case. Captain, Guster insisted, beaming. It just goes to show you, Captain, every cloud has its silver lining. Now we can get back to work together without missing a beat. Like two peas in a pod, a perfect pair. The healthy Blackwood sank slowly into a chair, burying his face in his hands. Captain, hey, I was just good right here while he was in the hospital, Guster continued, ever present. At your back, I'll be second to the dry paint, Captain. Just you right, Captain. I'll be here whenever you want, Captain. Right here, all day, every day. Blackwood's muffled groan was the only sound in the ward. He felt the cold, hard certainty of his fate. There would be no escape. Not from the measles, not from the paperwork, and certainly not from the ever-present, eternally cheerful, Private Guster Bumble. The comedy of errors that was his military life had achieved its ultimate, unending punchline. In the arid embrace of Fort Ironclad, a sprawling military installation scorched by the incessant desert sun, life unfolded with the grinding predictability of a well-oiled machine. This was the domain of Captain Corvus Crow Blackwood, a man whose meticulously sculpted sideburns and razor-sharp uniform reflected his stringent adherence to order. His patience, however, was perpetually stretched thin, often to breaking point, by the charmingly chaotic force of nature that was Private Guster Bumble. Payday, a sacred bi-weekly ritual at any military base, was particularly trying for Blackwood. It meant the inevitable procession of his soldiers, eager for their paltry earnings. But more importantly, it meant an encounter with Guster. Today, the very air seemed to hum with impending frustration. Next, Blackwood's voice, raspy, from a morning spent barking drills, sliced through the air. Private Chip Sprocket, a gangly soldier with an unshakable belief in his own magnetic charm, practically galloped into Blackwood's office. Thank you, sir. Private Chip Sprocket, 6-7-0-9. He executed a salute that wobbled precariously, then practically snatched the $67 Blackwood counted out, beaming. To the sirens. Roost for me, Captain. Delilah, the dancer, awaits. Heard she can make a man's heart beat faster than a scared jackrabbit. He winked, completely oblivious to Blackwood's hardening jaw. Dismissed. Sprocket, Blackwood grunted, already envisioning a litany of weekend transgressions that would land Sprocket in a holding cell, and Blackwood in a heap of disciplinary paperwork. Next, Blackwood commanded, the word infused with a palpable sense of resignation. A figure emerged from the queue, casting a long, unhurried shadow across the threshold. It was Private Guster Bumble, his uniform immaculate but somehow always conveying a gentle. His smile was a sunrise in the desert, open and his clear blue eyes sparkling with an optimism that, to Blackwood, often felt like a personal affront. "Private Guster Bumble, 7-3 Alpha, sir," Guster announced, his salute more a friendly wave than military protocol. He ambled towards the desk with a languid, unhurried gait, his movements a peculiar dance of rural grace. Blackwood scanned the ledger. $73. He pushed the stack of bills across the desk, bracing himself for the sermon. It was as inevitable as the sunrise. Guster, however, didn't immediately take the money. He gazed at the bills, then at Blackwood, a perplexed furrow marring his brow. "Sir," he began, his voice a melodic drawl, "I hope you don't mind my saying so, but I just can't do it. I can't get over it." Blackwood pinched the bridge of his nose, inhaling slowly. He started counting. Past 10, past 20. "Can't get over what, Bumble?" he managed, his voice dangerously low. "Well," Sir Guster continued, utterly oblivious to the storm brewing beneath Blackwood's placid surface, "I come here month after month, and you give me all this money for something I just love doing. Being a Marine, serving our country. It just feels mighty peculiar. In a good way. You know, like I'm being paid to breathe harmony-creaked air on a Sunday afternoon." He beamed, his innocence radiating like a small sun. Blackwood simply stared. The man was beyond parody. "That's fine, Bumble," he squeaked, his voice to octaves higher than usual. "Glad to hear you're enjoying your enlistment. Now take your pay before I spontaneously He gestured with a trembling finger. Finally, Guster reverently scooped up his earnings, folding them meticulously before tucking them into his uniform pocket. "Oh, and Captain," he added, just as Blackwood thought the ordeal was over, "I also wanted to say about the food in the Chow Master Hall. It's just been wonderful. Take last night. We had those tuna golly, they were mighty fine. I went back for seconds, but there was so much left over. I could have had thirds if I'd have wanted." He shook his head in delighted disbelief. Blackwood nodded, mesmerized by the horrifying vision of a bottomless pit of tuna. "And them new mattress covers we got in last week, Captain, why, if I was staying at the finest hotel in this country, I couldn't ask for any better. My back hasn't felt this good since Aunt Mildred replaced her old horsehair mattress with one of them newfangled springy ones back home." "Good, Bumble, good," Blackwood choked out, feeling an age-old weariness descend upon him. "Well, I can see you're busy, sir," Guster said, finally noticing the subtle tremors in Blackwood's hands. "So, I'll see you next month." With another enthusiastic as somewhat ungainly salute, he ambled out, whistling a tuneless, pastoral melody. Blackwood collapsed into his chair, a deep, shuddering sigh escaping him. "That's a long time between paydays, isn't it?" he muttered, unaware that Private Hank Hodge, the next in line, had heard him. "And that's the truth," Captain Hodge agreed, stepping in with a knowing grin. Blackwood arched an eyebrow. "Really? What makes you so sure any of them will even talk to you?" Hogg chuckled. "They have to. Captain, there. I'll just keep eating till I get off duty." He winked, a practiced, confident gesture. Blackwood merely grunted, the thought of endless, greasy food from a bored car hop filling him with existential dread. Later that afternoon, the recreation lounge, usually a boisterous hub, was quieter as soldiers departed for liberty. Guster, however, remained, meticulously polishing his combat boots, a look of profound contentment on his face. Sprocket, still radiating the infectious optimism of impending nocturnal adventure, clapped Guster on the shoulder, nearly sending him sprawling. "Well, there you are, Gome. I wondered where you went. Listen, Gome, I'm going into town to meet some girls. You want to come along?" Guster looked up, his smile gentle. "Thanks a lot, Sprocket, but my plans is already made. First, I'm going to write a letter home to Aunt Bee and Cousin Andy. And then I'm going over to the General Supply Depot. They're having a sale on some shower clogs. And I thought I'd pick me up a couple of pair. Mine got a little warped when I left 'em out in the sun." Sprocket stared, aghast. "Gome, you're not going to spend your whole payday buying shower clogs." "But I have to," Guster insisted, his earnestness palpable. "My other pair's warped, and you know what they say? Good hygiene starts from the feet on up. Can't be having no athlete's foot, can we?" Sprocket threw his hands up in defeat. "All right, Gum, that's the way you want it. We'll see you later." He and Hodge, who had joined him, gave Guster a baffled look before heading out. See you, fellas. Have a good time, Guster called after them, returning to his boots with renewed zeal. The streets outside Fort Ironclad pulsed with an energy that bordered on vendors, their voices slick with practiced charm, peddled wares of questionable provenance. Soldiers, their pockets freshly lined, meandered through the throng, easy targets for any opportunist. Guster, humming a cheerful Harmony Creek tune, found himself caught in this delightful chaos, making his way towards the general supply depot. "Hey, friend, you, over here," a voice, oily and smooth, cut through the din. Guster turned, his gaze falling upon a portly man in a gaudy, ill-fitting suit. The man's smile, while expansive, didn't quite reach his avaricious eyes, and he brandished a glittering gold watch with theatrical flourish. This was Slippery Sam Scalawag, a con man of local renown, for whom military paydays were not an ending, but a glorious new beginning. "Oh, you want to see me, Mr.?" Guster asked, ever polite. Sam's smile widened, revealing a flash of gold tooth. "Yeah, son, I got something to show you. Come here, come closer," he beckoned, already sizing up his mark. Guster shuffled nearer, his eyes widening at the watch. "Oh, that's a mighty nice watch there, Mr." His admiration was genuine. "Nice, son. It's not just a watch," Sam purred, dropping his voice conspiratorially. Here's an 18-karat 21 jewel movement, with a genuine gold expansion bracelet, and it can be yours." Guster gasped. "And then you're selling it? Oh, golly. Mister, I could never afford an expensive watch like that. I bet that cost a fortune." Sam clapped Guster's shoulder, a gesture devoid of warmth. "Why not, friend? You've just been paid, haven't you? Money's burning a hole in that pocket, ain't it?" "Why, yes, I have," Guster admitted, his cheeks flushing. "High in the world, you know that." "Well, being an ex-serviceman like I am," Sam lied smoothly, puffing out his chest, "you just kind of feel it in the air, that fresh payday smell. Now, how about it? Son, wouldn't you like to have this watch for your very own?" "Well, I'd like it very much, but a watch like that wouldn't come within my budget." Sir," Guster explained, a touch of regret in his voice. "You see, I've got my allotments, and I've got to buy my shower clogs, and I've got to get a present for my aunt's birthday. No, it's impossible." Sam's eyes glinted. The bait was taken. "Wait a minute, son. How much do you think it costs?" Guster pondered this deeply, screwing up his face in concentration. "Well, it's got to be at least $12.95, he declared, proud of his accuracy. Sam's face twitched. A pause. Then, a theatrical gasp. "Only $12.95. Golly." He mimicked Guster's surprise with remarkable accuracy. "That's right, son," Sam continued, launching into his well-worn $12.95. And that includes sales tax and a lifetime warranty, including parts and labor, a philanthropic gesture on my part. Guster's eyes rounded. A dizzying mix of disbelief and temptation assailed him. "Thank you very much, monsieur, but I just couldn't." "You can't?" Sam feigned indignation. $12.95 for a watch like that. Why, you'd be cheating yourself. Everybody knows a gold watch costs 10 times that much. "Huh. No, I just couldn't do that to you, Mr. Friendly," Guster mumbled, utterly bewildered by the reverse psychology. "I couldn't take advantage." Sam chuckled, smoothly recovering. "What's your name, son?" "PFC Bumble." Guster Bumble. "My name's Sam. Slippery Sam, the serviceman's pal. Now, let me tell you something. Bumble, in all my years catering to men in the armed forces, I've never felt such a rapport with a customer. Imagine worrying about my profit. Take the watch, son, please." He pressed it into Guster's hand. Guster recoiled slightly, the glittering watch feeling unexpectedly heavy. "Oh, I just couldn't, Mr. Slippery Sam. As much as I'd like to have it, I just wouldn't enjoy it knowing how I'd taken advantage of you." Sam wiped an imaginary tear. "Well, look, son, would you feel any better if I told you I was making a little something? Just a tiny bit." "Can you?" Guster asked, surprised, "practically giving it to me like you are." "Well," Sam confided, dropping his voice again, "once in a while, one of my suppliers gets a hold of a piece of merchandise, and he has to unload it in a hurry. He gave a suggestive wink. Oh, sure. Gusta's face brightened. You mean he's overstocked? Sam blinked. Overstocked on hung. He made a mental note to incorporate that into his next pitch. Back home at the gas station, Gusta continued, eagerly making the connection. Sometimes we'd get overstocked on inner tubes. And then we'd have to run a sale, just like Mr. Perkins and his air compressors. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Son, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and it'd just break my heart to see you pass it up. My poor, shattered heart. Sam clutched his chest. Gusta, touched by Sam's apparent distress, finally capitulated. Well, if you really feel that way about it, Mr. Slippery Sam. How else can I feel? Son, take it, please. Sam's face, for a split second, was a mask of pure greed, before recomposing into benevolent generosity. Good. Good for you. Gusta fumbled in his pocket, extracting his crumpled bills. Well, here's the money. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can just keep the change, Mr. Slippery Sam. A little extra for your troubles. Sam beamed, scooping up the money. Well, thanks, son. This has made my day. As Gusta turned to leave, the watch gleaming on his wrist, a thought struck him. Mr. Slippery Sam, he said, turning back, about the lifetime guarantee. Sam, already eyeing his next mark, paused. A lifetime guarantee. Yeah, what about it? Well, Gusta continued, genuinely concerned, for what you charged me for the watch. 10 or 15 years would be more than fair. I don't want you losing money on a lifetime of repairs for me. That just wouldn't be right. Sam stared, momentarily speechless, before bursting into a forced, booming laugh. Son, you truly are one of a kind. Go on, enjoy your watch. Happy afternoon to you. He practically shooed Gusta away. Gusta, pleased with his thoughtful gesture, continued on his way, completely oblivious to the swindle. The next day, Captain Corvus Blackwood was, as usual, drowning in paperwork. The relentless administrative burden felt heavier than usual after the stress of payday. Captain Blackwood, a happy afternoon to you. Blackwood's pen, mid-signature, froze. That voice. He knew that voice. He dropped his pen, a faint thud echoing in the oppressive silence. He rubbed his eyes, pinched himself. Not a dream. Gusta Bumble. Here, in his office. What is it, Bumble? Blackwood growled, fighting a losing battle against his rapidly fraying nerves. I'm trying to catch up with this paperwork. What do you want? Gusta, ever the optimist, beamed. Oh, I thought I'd just stop by and kill some time with my favorite captain. Maybe talk about important things, like the proper way to tie a square knot. Well, kill it somewhere else. Blackwood snapped, his gaze darting to the towering stacks of documents. I've got to clear all this up before I can get out of here. So, beat it. He pointed at the door. Well, maybe I could pitch in and help. So, Gusta offered, completely undeterred. I got plenty of time. My letter home is written, and I found them shower clogs for a real good price. You got your Liberty Pass, private. Go into Glitterati Gardens. Go to a movie someplace. Blackwood's voice rose. Just get out of here. Right, Captain, Gusta replied, spinning with a clumsy aroused face. But just at the threshold, he stopped. But before I go, sir, would you happen to have the right time? Blackwood threw his hands up. Why don't you clear out of here? I'm sorry, Captain. Gusta hurried back, holding out his wrist with immense pride. I just wanted to show off my new gold watch. Blackwood blinked. Huh. He looked at Gusta's wrist, then back at his beaming face. A knot of dread tightened in his stomach. My new gold watch, sir. That's right. You hadn't seen it, had you? Look. He thrust his wrist forward. It gleamed, a splash of yellow against olive drab. Let me see that, Bumble. Blackwood commanded, snatching Gusta's arm. He examined it, turning it over. It certainly looked expensive. You don't have to worry about dropping it either, Captain, Gusta chattered happily. Because it's guaranteed, and it's also waterproof, and dust. Just like one of those fancy diving watches Cousin Andy always wanted for fishing. Blackwood grunted. Gold? Huh? You mean this is really gold? Positively. So, 18 carats with 21 jewels to do, Gusta affirmed, mimicking Sam's boast. And it's waterproof, dustproof. Blackwood dropped Gusta's wrist. What did you do, Bumble? Blow your whole payday on this monstrosity? Guess what it cost? Captain, just guess. Guster practically vibrated with excitement. Blackwood, though suspicious, played along. Well, a gold watch like this should cost at least 100 clamps. He used his own unit of currency for dramatic effect. Guster giggled. You're just a little bit off, Captain. You mean you paid more? Blackwood's heart sank. No, Guster chirped. Then what did you pay for it? Private? Blackwood demanded. $12.95, Guster declared. Chest puffed, including sales tax and a lifetime guarantee. Blackwood's jaw dropped. Do you think I got a good deal, Captain? For a watch that's shockproof. Good deal, Blackwood exploded, slamming his fist on the desk. Bumble, how can anybody sell you a gold watch for $12.95? Those were my feelings exactly, Captain. Guster readily agreed. So I asked Mr. Sam, that's Slippery Sam, the fella that sold it to me, and he explained to me that his supplier was overstocked, and he had to unload him. Overstocked? Blackwood practically screamed. He lurched out of his chair. Bumble, when it comes to brains, you're understocked. In fact, you've got the lowest inventory on the entire base. Guster blinked. Huh? Look, Bumble, use your head for a minute. Blackwood pointed a finger. A gold watch selling for $12.95 has either got to be a phony, or else it's hot. Guster's eyes widened. Huh, you don't mean that it is stolen? The word emerged in a horrified whisper. Yeah, Bumble. Swiped. Stolen. Blackwood paced. A guy goes into the washroom, takes off his watch, and the next thing you know, it's gone. But, Captain, Guster protested. Mr. Sam said he bought it from his supplier. He seemed real honest-like. You mean his fence? Blackwood's. Now, let's face it, Bumble, right now, in Glitterati Gardens, there's probably some poor guy walking around without his watch. And you've got it. You bought a stolen watch. What? Guster exclaimed, recoiling. The watch suddenly felt like a shackle. I never. You did too, Bumble, Blackwood yelled, pointing. Well, I don't want it. Guster ripped the watch off, holding it at arm's length. Oh, that's terrible. Stolen goods. Why didn't I just go to the general supply depot and get my shower clogs? What am I going to do, Captain? I've had it, Bumble. Blackwood's voice quieted, replaced by a dangerous rumble. Every payday, there's some petty crook waiting around in ambush for one of our guys, and I'm getting sick of it. But what are we going to do, Captain? Guster looked to Blackwood. Blackwood slammed his hand on the desk. First thing I'm going to do is get your money back. And then I'm going to make this Sam character wish he'd never seen this base. Now, where is he? Guster pointed vaguely. Well, the last time I saw him, Captain, he was out by the back fence, near the market stalls. Oh, I feel awful about this, Captain Guster mumbled. Just awful. All right, Bumble. You go back to the barracks and wait, Blackwood ordered, grabbing his service cap. I'll handle this crook. Well, Captain, Guster added, would you tell that Sam something for me? Tell him after what he's done not to expect any more of my business from me. Blackwood stared for a moment, then exhaled a long breath. Right, Bomba. Consider him informed. He stormed out. He found Sam precisely where Guster indicated, charming a young private into admiring suspiciously cheap binoculars. Blackwood approached like a thump. Thought you could get away with it, didn't you? Blackwood snarled, looming. Coming around here. Fleecing, my guys. Well, you've had it, Buster. Sam, startled, dropped the binoculars. He looked up, a flicker of fear replaced by a practiced smile. What do you want, Captain? Just tell me what you want. I'll tell you what I want, Blackwood roared, thrusting the watch forward. I want the money back for this watch. Now. Sam's relief was palpable. The money? Well, why didn't you say so, Captain? I'd be glad to give you a refund. He reached into his coat pocket. Oh, don't hand me that stuff. You phony, Blackwood scoffed. You mean you're actually going to give me the money? Of course. Here. Sam peeled off several bills and pressed them into Blackwood's hand. And you tell your buddy, Private Bumble, I'm truly sorry he wasn't happy. Blackwood stared at the money, then back at Sam. He expected resistance, not this eager refund. You mean you're giving me a refund? Well, of course, I'm giving you a refund, Sam declared, leaning in confidentially. And I'll give you an explanation also, because you're entitled to it, Captain. Yeah, Blackwood narrowed his eyes. Yeah, Sam continued, putting a friendly hand on Blackwood's shoulder. You want to know about this watch, Captain? Well, right now, it's in a window of the Gemstone Glitz Emporium, selling for $97.50, and that's on sale. Blackwood let out a disbelieving laugh. Oh, come on. What do you take me for? Some kind of rube? I was raised in the city, Mr. All right, Captain. All right. You were born in the city, but you still got a lot to learn about merchandising. Sam wagged a finger. Okay, then you tell me, how do you sell a $100 gold watch for $12.95? Sam leaned in. Simple, Captain. Low overhead. That's the secret. Low overhead, Blackwood scoffed. Well, sure. Sam spread his arms. You go downtown to any of these high-class jewelry stores, right? What do you see? Fancy fixtures, thick carpets, high-priced salesmen. Do you see any of that around here, Captain? He gestured to his humble street stall. Huh? Do you see it? Blackwood looked around. No, but well, I still don't see how a gold watch can sell for There's gotta be a catch. Of course there's a catch. Sam beamed. And it's the markup. Captain, the markup. The markup, Blackwood echoed, intrigued despite himself. Have you any idea of the markup? No, you don't. Well, not many of us know there's a 60 and 70% profit attached to these luxury items when you buy them by the car. Blackwood's eyes widened. Of course, I'm a volume dealer. Captain, I make a tiny profit. But I go for the big turnover. Even taking this time to talk to you has cost me money, but it's worth it. How many times do I get to talk shop with a guy who understands the business? Blackwood found himself nodding. Well, I was always pretty good in arithmetic, I suppose. Good. Good. Sam clapped his shoulder. Well, let me really explain it to you. Now, when the manufacturer gets an item, see, any product, particularly your watch. Blackwood felt a slow, dawning comprehension. The sheer simplicity of bypassing expensive storefronts was compelling. He tucked the refunded money back into his pocket, a new, unsettling thought blooming in his mind. Back at the barracks, Guster sat slumped on his bunk, the stolen watch discarded on his pillow. Sprocket and Hodge, fresh from their own unsatisfying forays, found him thus. Gomer, what in the world? Sprocket exclaimed. Gomer, you okay, buddy? Hodge asked. Guster looked up, mournful. How in the world could I offer such a scheme? Do imagine me being so foolish. It's not as if I was 2 years old. I'm a grown man, a Marine, a high school graduate. He buried his face in his hands. Sprocket patted Guster's shoulder. Don't ever stop aggravating yourself, Gomer. It was just one of those things. You got taken. Well, one thing's for sure, Guster mumbled. Captain Blackwood's not gonna let him get away with it. No, sir. I'll bet you he puts that fella out of business and gets my money back. Hodge sighed. I wouldn't count on it. Gomer, right now, that Sam character and your $13 are probably halfway across the border. Guster lifted his head. Well, I sure hope he enjoys that money and has his stuff a good time, because he's got his conscience to live with. Just then, Private Humble walked past, whistling cheerfully, a brand new, garish gold watch gleaming on his wrist. Hello, man. What's going on? Guster, Sprocket, and Hodge looked at the watch, then at Humble. A cold realization dawned. Well, what do you think? Humble asked, beaming. This new watch of mine shows. Sprocket, horror dawning, pointed. Where'd you get it? Well, I happened to be passing the pool hall in town, and a fellow out front there sold it to me. Do you have any idea what I paid? $12.95, Guster muttered. Humble's jaw dropped. Amazing. How did you know? Slippery Sam strikes again, Hodge muttered darkly. Is that his name? Slippery Sam? Humble asked. No, this fellow's name is Lucky Louie. Louie? That's probably just his downtown name. Humble, Hodge grumbled. Guster stood up, his face set. Wait a minute. What's going on? Humble, you just made the same mistake I did. Hodge grabbed Guster's arm. Congratulations, Private Humble. You've just been initiated to membership in the Patsy Club. Let it go, Gomer. But Guster wasn't listening. He had to stop this man. He found Slippery Sam, currently Lucky Louie, outside a dimly lit pool hall, engaged in 3-card Monte. Guster approached with unfamiliar purpose. So there you are. I'm sorry to ruin your shot, Mr. Lucky Louie, but there's something I've got to talk to you about. Sam looked up, his face an expert mask of mild annoyance, quickly replaced by a saccharine smile. Well, why all the fuss, buddy? This is my old Marine buddy. Hi, Homer. Hi, Guster responded, automatically polite. Sam extended a hand. Of course, Gomer. Nice to see you again, son. How about a little game of rotation? I couldn't think about playing a game right now, Mr. Louis. Guster insisted. You just don't know all the trouble you caused, Captain Blackwood. Sam's face shifted into concern. Trouble? Son, what kind of trouble? Well, you know that fur that you sold Captain Blackwood? Guster pressed. Well, all the fur blew out of it. And it's harder than that there, cue ball. Sam gasped. A remarkable display of faint shock. It's, what? That's impossible. That's right. It happened right out there on the dance floor at the Emerald Pelican Bistro. Guster insisted. It was awful, Mr. Lewis. Just awful. Why, Miss Blossom was crying. Sam threw his hands up in despair. You're kidding. Oh, that darn furrier.